sports update with Trust a Trader. Find top-notch tradespeople in your area, all who pass the Trust a Trader 15-point assessment.
Talk Sport.
I'm Ben Fletcher. Good afternoon. Forest may have rubbished reports they're about to sack their manager, but did Nuno Espirito Santo get that memo? The Forest boss says his relationship with owner Evangelos Marianakis has changed, and not for the better.
Yeah, it's not so close. It's not on the daily basis. Yeah.
Is that a good thing, though? Or?
No, it's not good. It's not good. I think everybody at the club should be together, but it's not a reality.
This as Morgan Gibbs-White has exclusively told talkSPORT why he signed a new deal at Forest. Quite simply, to turn his back on the club would have broken his heart. With
everything that happened this summer, it was it hit home a bit. Like, I've been through a lot with this club these past 3 years, and to feel like I was gonna miss out on, what we achieved last season, sort of broke me a little bit.
Gibbs-White says leaving Forest would have been splitting up with his first childhood girlfriend. The weekend of Premier League action kicks off at the London Stadium tonight with West Ham hosting Chelsea. Enzo Maresca has played down the Hammers' opening day defeat up at Sunderland.
All the Premier League games, they are tough, they are difficult. The Premier League just started, so you can see that they are trying to find some solution in the same way we are doing.
Chelsea's trip to West Ham is live on talkSPORT tonight, and Ruben Diaz has signed a contract extension at Manchester City for another 4 years. Diaz says Manchester is his home now, and he wants to win more trophies for the fans. This as Pep confirms he'll have both Rodri and Phil Foden available to face Tottenham tomorrow lunchtime, live on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
Millions of us are facing more travel disruption than usual this bank holiday weekend, and the Home Office are appealing the High Court's ruling stopping asylum seekers being housed in an Essex hotel. There's more from the news team at past.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. A very happy Andy Goldstein, very unhappy Darren Bent here, everyone.
It's Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
What's the matter?
It's not working.
I don't own the building.
We need this.
Huh?
We need this, you know
well,
what I mean?
it's not a we, I don't need it. I'm ready to go. Just throw it on the floor in disgust. Look at him, look. Cut to Darren Bent, he's not happy, look. Unhappy Benny. Well, Dingo, we've got a show for you today. Crystal Palace began their European dream last night, but without their star man, Ebrich made himself unavailable. Have Arsenal pulled off the deal of the window? Surely Palace can't sell their captain Mark Gurhey to Liverpool now. 03717 223344. Palace fans will start with your club. On top of that, Palace have enough on their plate with that huge game against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Palace fans, great start to the season, but how are you feeling about your club? That's how we start today's show. Elsewhere, Friday night, Live is back. We're going to hear from every Premier League manager ahead of a huge weekend of football. And, of course, we've got a big game that's live on talkSPORT tonight as West Ham take on Chelsea, two-time winner of the Premier League. Julian Lescott will join us to discuss his new-look Man City. They face Spurs tomorrow. That game also live on talkSPORT. And we have a surprise coming up on Drive that Darren Bent has no idea about. All that and loads more coming up in today's Drive Time show. You can be a part of it if you want. 03717 223344.
Blockbusters. What a shot that was.
Howdy doody, everybody. Howdy doody to the one and only Darren Bent. Are you good? Are you well? It's lovely to see you. I haven't really seen you much today. So you've been off playing a bit of darts, and I played a bit of darts. I had a couple of meetings. You were a bit late today. It's been one of those mornings I've not really seen you. Right? You well? How's your knee?
Yeah.
Knee update?
No, I was in the gym this morning, early doors.
Well, yeah?
Just doing leg stuff.
Oh, right, okay. That's your arms you just did there.
Yeah, doing my legs and that's it. It's feeling good. Next week I'm back at it. So anyone listening who wants it can get it.
Can I just a message to Ryan? Ryan's our producer. I don't have the iPad, so I can't link to anything. Ryan, you've got it in front of you. Yeah, good work.
Also, you said you got a surprise for me.
And the surprise coming up in this hour.
What time's he coming on? What time's he coming on?
What do you mean he? It's not he.
Nathan Blake. What time's he coming on?
Why did you say Nathan Blake?
Because it's obvious. That's
right, come into the studio. We don't care if you can be seen on camera. It is Nathan Blake. He's coming up on today's show.
Good.
You like that?
Yeah, good, man.
If you're listening to the show going, what? Okay, great, you got Nathan Blake. Well, why? What? So, thank you, Ryan, for that. It's because a couple of days ago I asked a question going into break, a no googling question. The answer was Nathan Blake, and Benty was like, Nathan Blake. You got? There's never been a player called Nathan Blake.
Yeah.
Never been a player.
And then my
Your brain
lapsed. And
Well, it wasn't that. It was just the iPad exploded with.
Well, no, it didn't explode, but then all of a sudden I went, "Oh my goodness, how can I forget Nathan Blake?"
And I got it as well. I was like, Sheffield United.
Yeah, unbelievable from you.
Thank you.
But no, yeah.
So Nathan Blake will be on the show today.
Glad I can apologise to him.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Seeing any movies? How's Mission Impossible getting on? You still not finished?
I finished it now.
You finished Mission Impossible?
Yep,
Okay,
finished
so
it.
4 days.
Yep.
How was it? Out of 10?
7.
Okay. The one before, it's two-pronged, right?
Yeah, the first one was all right as well. Like,
First one's where he's walking through the airport.
yeah, and it's like he's got that weird.
Yeah, that's Birmingham Airport. Do you know that?
That's not Birmingham.
That's Birmingham Airport.
Is it?
And apparently it's a wing of Birmingham Airport.
I've never been to that part.
Apparently so.
And it can't be because it was also massive.
Yeah.
Then again, it might have actually.
It is. I'm sure it's Birmingham
I'm
Airport.
gonna have to check that.
Okay.
You're not sure it's not Birmingham in America?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Because you never said Birmingham in America.
That's an unbelievable call. Yeah, maybe it's that.
Because I don't remember Birmingham Airport looking like that.
I don't remember Birmingham. It's a very good point.
So like
We'll
Birmingham.
Google that. We'll Google that.
But no, it was good. But the other one, the older ones, like I prefer.
Right. Ending good? Has it ended?
I think it's ended because they're talking about that Mission Impossible. Because I googled that afterwards.
Yeah.
And they're talking about Mission Impossible may continue, but that's Cruise's last one, I think.
Nah, it can't continue out Tom Cruise.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I thought that was
you just made that up.
Do you want me to Google it? I'll show you. I read it after the film. I thought, oh, because I thought it's Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's finished?
Oh, I see.
But apparently for him, it's the
finished.
final.
There's going to be another. What's his name? Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Careful with that one.
What a what a franchise he's
We're
up
going
there.
to do some rhyming there. What?
I mean, for so many films.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
It's up there for me with Bond. I know you're going to poo-poo that.
yeah, it's not Bond.
No, it's not Bond, but it's as I get as excited when a new.
Oh
Mission
no, I
Impossible-
don't. When Bond's coming out, straight away. Like I think my top 3 things in terms of getting excited for when they come out.
Oh, whoa.
Top 5.
When they come out,
Yeah. So like, when I know there's a new Jurassic Park, love it.
you are nuts.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you like Jurassic Park so much?
When there's a new Superman or Marvel film.
Okay. What was the last? Have you seen the one with
Superman's
the dog?
DC? So no, I've not seen that yet.
That's out. You can buy that now.
I know. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna get it. Wait till it's at home. But I was because I was so angry that they got rid of Henry Cavill
Yeah.
that I've not watched that one yet.
Who's the new fella?
I don't even know his name. See,
Oh, okay.
when it's new Bond coming out, new Mission Impossible, I get excited.
Yeah.
And
When we're doing a show?
Yeah.
When we're doing a show.
yeah, we don't know.
We're doing it now.
I'm trying to think
Should
what else comes out. Do you not get excited when a new Star Wars comes out?
I used to, but not now. There's too many of them. I haven't watched the last,
Oh,
whatever the last thing was.
You haven't
that
watched
came
like Rogue One and that?
out. No.
Oh my goodness!
Hold on. Yes, I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
But when they do all the other spin-offs.
Oh yeah, like the Andor and all that. Like,
Darth Vader and all that, don't bother with that.
did you see Mandalorian?
I watched the first one. Saw Baby Yoda. I thought that's ridiculous.
That's incredible. That's actually not Yoda.
Oh, you ruined it then.
Have I ruined it? You didn't watch it?
Yeah, but I just thought it looked rubbish.
Nah, it was brilliant. Mandalorian.
Two series of that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mandalorian, brilliant.
Not for me. Should we start today's show, Darren Bent? Because we're not long away from that surprise that's now not a surprise. We'll start with Palace. They got the job done without Eze in their Conference League qualifier last night. But are Palace fans worried about where the club is heading?
Arsenal make a move for Eberiche Eze, and the 27-year-old wants to join them.
There's a few whispers from Selhurst Park that Eze won't now play for Palace tonight.
Palace 1, Fredrikstad 0. I'm amazed this man is still here. Jean-Philippe Mateta.
I have to apologize to all of you because the first time I didn't tell you the truth. Today he called me that he doesn't feel well and can't play in the evening, and that's why he didn't play.
No Eberiche Eze, not exactly no problem, but life after Eze begins with a Palace win in Europe.
Yeah, despite refusing to sell Eze to Spurs until after last night's Conference League qualifier, Palace were without him last night. He now, of course, looks set to sign for their North London rivals Arsenal instead. Jean-Philippe Mateta scored the only goal of the game last night as Palace won their first leg against their opponents at Selhurst Park. The manager, Oliver Glasner, spoke to the media after last night's game. He said the club can't afford to lose defender Mark Gurhey as well this summer.
You see, we played with Jeff Lerma in the back today. He's a midfield player. We have no centre-back available at the moment, and if Mark leaves, okay, maybe, I will try my boots because I was a centre-back and this could be a good option. I will think about it.
Don't know if you're watching that on YouTube. We possibly could have got more of the ceiling in on that shot. Ridiculous framing. Listen, it's I don't really know what's going on at Palace. Palace
Who
fans.
did they play last night? What are they called?
Their opponents. They played their
Yeah,
opponents.
what are they called?
They are called Fredrikstad. Is that right? Fredrikstad. Why are you laughing?
Because Bryce said to me.
Oh, don't listen to Ryan, mate. He's sports fine now. He's just filling in today. I feel sorry for Palace fans. I really do. It wasn't that long ago, May time, they had their greatest day ever in their club's history. They won the FA Cup. They looked really, really good as a unit, right? They lost to Lise. That was last year.
Yep.
Eze, well, he's gone. Let's have it right. He's gone. Now their captain, Mark Gay, one of the best England defenders we've got at the moment, right? You think he starts alongside Stones, but either way, he's an excellent defender. Has been heavily linked to Liverpool. Although I can't believe they're going to let him go if Eze goes. What's happening to Crystal Palace at the moment? I know that Parish has come out and said we might have to sell Gurhey. Otherwise, we'll lose him for nothing in a year's time. I don't really understand what's going on at Crystal Palace all of a sudden.
But there I understand, because you're right. He's a top player. The captain, Mark Gahey. I think he's brilliant. I'm surprised more teams are not in for him. But then it doesn't surprise me that one of the best teams about Liverpool are after him. But unfortunately for Crystal Palace, because they're not competing for Premier League titles, Champions League honours and stuff, they're almost like that team that's just in between. So, unfortunately, players are going to use that as a stepping stone. So you've seen the likes of, I know Wilfred Zaha was a great servant for them and was probably there longer than maybe he should have been, Wilfred Zaha. We've seen Elise come from Reading, go to Palace, turn himself into a superstar with his performances, and then go to Bayern Munich. Eze now looks like he's about to go to Arsenal. We've seen Adam Wharton probably going to be the next one as well, who's going to turn up and then go on to the next level. But this has been happening for a long time. You go back to Ian Wright, for instance, Palace.
I know, but you're talking about three of their top players.
But
four if you can't count Elise, all leaving in the space of, 12, 18 months?
But this is the problem we've got, because Crystal Palace, which is a really good football club, players are not looking at that as the end of the road. They're going, right, if I go to Crystal Palace, which is a stable Premier League club, I can do well and then go to the next level. And that's what these players are doing. So, I mean, first and foremost, Crystal Palace and Oliver Glasner deserve an awful a lot of respect, because the way Glasner developed some of these players, by the way, look what happened. Elise's gone there. I know he played, but he was there before he got there, but look what he's done for him. Eze all of a sudden now has got the move that he probably deserves. Adam Wharton's come in and he looks incredible. I just think that unfortunately for Crystal Palace, it's one of those things where your top players are going to go to the next level, and it looks like they're doing that. It's just a sad state of affairs that the team is going to get broken up after such a fantastic performance in the summer.
Let me ask Palace fans, you can have your say on everything we've spoken about. 03717223334. Not that I want the line of question to go down this path, but I'm just curious. We see a lot of clubs now have their top players transferred out of the club quite close to the end of the transfer window. Well, are we 10 days away, 9, something like that, right? Do you think it's better if we didn't have a transfer window? I don't want to go down that road of questioning, but I'm just curious, because you wouldn't have this panic that clubs seem to have with just over a week to go.
No, because what I don't like about it, because it is panic. Well, imagine the panic stations if you're, I don't know, say you're I'll give it Arsenal as an example, that's probably fair. Right, Arsenal pushing for the league title, like pushing, right, heavily pushing. We're getting into like crunch time, towards like Christmas time, over Christmas next year and stuff. It's going really well. And then Real Madrid start flirting with Saka. Like, your head's going to be, I know Saka's Arsenal through and through.
Over Christmas time, the window is open.
No, but I'm talking about, like, you're flying, getting to that point, and then you're getting towards like the end of the season, a couple of months away, and you're thinking, right, this is our time to put our foot down. And then Real Madrid suddenly go, do you know what? We won't mind Saka now for next season. Then his head's turned, then it's panic.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? So I quite like the windows where it's at. But again, I do feel for Palace. But unfortunately, when you're not, it's about the food chain, right? And when you're not top of the food chain, unfortunately, these things happen.
They haven't kicked on at all, have they, Palace?
Well, they're still playing some good stuff. I mean,
no, listen, they had a great start, right? Draw against Chelsea, win last night. Brilliant start.
But even the
brilliant start.
Even the Community Shield, beating Liverpool, you'd go,
I forgot about that.
You'd go, well, they're certainly in a great place. But if they were to lose Eze and then lose Gahey
in this window,
like
they might lose the manager if that is the case.
Yeah, because he might go, I've had enough of this.
Bradley comes out and says, I might be playing centre half soon.
Yeah,
you got big clubs. You got big clubs that take West Ham for argument's sake, right? They got a massive game against Chelsea. That one live on talkSPORT tonight, right? Mm-hmm. If they lose that game, the pressure mounted on their manager, Graham Potter, is huge.
Yeah.
We might get to November, December time, right? West Ham flirting with the bottom half of the table.
Yeah.
Glaston's not happy. He gets a phone call from West Ham. He's gone. You've got to keep your manager happy.
I think right now, as it looks and it stands, I mean, you're telling me if that is the case, I mean, if he loses the players at Palace, then I get it. It might
that's what I'm saying.
To do. So, yeah, potentially. But, I mean, I can understand where Steve Parish is coming from, because Mark Gahey, £60 million now.
I think 40 million,
yeah. Which is 40 million. And Palace probably need that in terms of PSR. 40 million, but then you lose for nothing. That's a big thing to swallow, that.
Palace fans, will start with you. Are you disappointed in your club for not kicking on this summer? And is it all kicking off? 03717223344. Palace fans, we go to you next, live on Drive on talkSPORT after this.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defensive stuff.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
That sounds a little bit like Chas and Dave at the beginning. Mother phoned up.
Everybody dance.
Just doing the dance floor. I don't care. I don't care. Sounds like that, doesn't it? I know this is Everybody Dance. No, Everybody dance. Who's sang that? But what's the matter? You're moaning a lot. By the way, Benty's been on his hands and knees under my desk.
Hey.
You have? What are you doing? What are you not happy with?
Because you know the jack thing?
For what?
Your headphones.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not fit properly. It's crackling in my ears.
Anything else you want to complain about? This is a lovely studio. Anything else?
It's coming from you.
You know, we've changed. Look, we've got the talkSPORT there now, blocking out of you rather than just a news update or whatever we said before. It is at the Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. We're coming live from our new studio. Benny's not happy with it. It's still to come. We've got a very special.
A couple of pens, please.
Oh, I'm talking.
Thank you.
Still to come, we've got a very special surprise guest. Well, he's worked it out, actually. He's coming up in about 10 minutes' time. Just quickly, Man City defender Ruben Diaz has signed a new deal until 2029 with an option of a further year. That's fantastic, that is. Spurs are exploring a potential move for Chelsea's Christopher Nkunku. What do you make of that?
Yeah, surprised. He hasn't really been given many minutes at Chelsea. He doesn't really fit the way that they play either.
I don't think Spurs fans would be happy with that.
I thought he was kind of surplus of requirements. You know what? When he was at Leipzig and Chelsea were getting him, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, wow. Because I remember the hat-trick he scored at the Etihad and I thought, this guy's incredible. Hasn't kicked on at all at Chelsea.
No. The Forest gaffer Nuno Espirito Santo, he's been speaking to the media ahead of their game against Palace this weekend. He had some interesting things to say about the relationship he's got with the club's owner.
I don't know exactly, but I'm being honest with you. I cannot say that it's the same, because it's not the same. The reason behind that, I don't know. Look what I said last week or 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Was my concern and why I was worried, because my job is always to try and anticipate what's coming ahead of us, and that's what I said. But I said it with respect, but the reality is that is not what it used to be. What it used to be was a good, respectful relationship, but was more based on trust and sharing opinions, and now it's not so good.
I mean, that says, see ya. Used to be on trust, and now it's not so good. What does that tell you? It tells me one thing: he's off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
looking to get sacked, isn't he?
It's not good, that. But you think what Nuno did last season, I thought was exceptional. I thought Nottingham Forest played some good stuff. I thought it was unfortunate that they didn't finish in the Champions League last season, but still managed to finish inside Europe. I thought it was a really, really competitive season. They made some good signings. They turned some good players into very, very, very good players. But the fact now that this has come up, I wouldn't say I'm shocked because it's going to be there. But I did wonder, and I've often spoke to people who are quite close to Nottingham Forest, and I've always said that with Marinakis, it's the ambition he's got is obviously for Nottingham Forest to be in the Champions League and all that. And when he sees what's going on around him, he can't understand. Like, say Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup, he's like, that's what we should be doing. Do you know what I mean? We should be winning the FA Cup. And yes, he might have thought that they should have been in the Champions League last season, but it didn't happen. But if they were to get rid of Nuno, I mean, that would be so bad. So bad, because he's done such a great job. I've always been a big fan of his. I like
Big Ange?
Yes, I don't see that as an upgrade. I really don't.
No, I don't either.
I know Ange won the Europa with Spurs, and great achievement. You can never take it away from him. But Plan A. And once Plan A got figured out, that was it.
Imagine if they took Glasner.
Who?
What do you mean, who? Forest?
Oh, no, that would be a disrespect. They did that. Snitching and then taking their gaff off.
And playing Europa League football.
Yeah, trust me. Now, Glasgow would never do that. But I think
they wouldn't, you're right.
I just don't think that's an upgrade. Okay. There's no way in the planet they could get rid of Nuno for Big Ange.
We'll talk Forest a bit later on. You can dial in now if you want. 03717 223344. Right now, we're taking your calls on that game, actually. Palace, they're taking on Forest. Palace fans, are you disappointed your club hasn't kicked on since you won that FA Cup back in May? 03717 223344 is the number that Mark, the Palace fan, has dialed. Hi, Mark.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you, sir? Are you well?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you.
Good.
I just phoned in. I agree with everything what Bent said about you can't stop players from moving on to bigger and better things. That's never been a problem at Palace, and we always cheer the guys who come back, for doing really well. My problem is that we have only spent £3.5 million so far this winter, which is the least out of any of the top 5 leagues in Europe. I mean, £3.5 million when we're in Europe, to me, is disgusting. And we knew that Eze was leaving. Well, everyone knew Eze was losing. So, we're not proactive, we're proactive. It's just, I just think the chairman's got a lot to answer for.
Yeah, do you know what? You're right, because I think the only player you bought was that Sosa. Was that left back from Ajax?
We bought a left back for £3.5 million, and we got a goalkeeper as a free transfer.
Yeah,
now we're using the same 14 players week in, week out. I mean, and the most crucial person at our club is not the chairman or Eze, he's the manager.
Yeah.
Because this manager will go on to bigger and better things, because he's a great manager.
And that's the thing, and I think that he hit the nail on the head there, because there's no one on the planet it's hard enough Premier League football, domestic cup competitions. Then when you throw in Europe, when you're travelling left, right and centre, yes, you might be going on private jets and you know what I mean, it's all the best recovery and stuff, but it still takes it out of you mentally. Like, it's quite mentally draining. So if you're having to play midweek, then play on a Sunday, because that's another thing you've got to, when you're in Europe, you play most Sundays.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you've got to kind of adapt for.
Katie's up next. Hi, Katie.
Hiya, hello.
How are you?
I am buzzing.
Are you? What are you buzzing about? The fact you're speaking to me and Benty or your team?
Obviously, this is my first time on talkSPORT, but no, last night I was the match sponsor for Crystal Palace's historic first ever foray in the European Conference League.
What does that mean, the match sponsors? So you get your name on the front of the programme. What else?
A programme, massive LED screens with the logo for my company, a box with friends of mine and clients who are Palace fans and other fans, but generally just being able to go to the dressing room, meet the players, meet Glasner. It was just amazing.
We're looking for a sponsor. Do you want to?
Yeah.
I'm all in. Get in touch.
All right, okay. How much they charge for that? Do you mind me asking?
I can't say, but they gave me a very competitive rate because obviously you can imagine with the umming and ahhing about UEFA, they had a very short amount of time to turn something around. And because I'm known to the club,
is it just a one-off game you had the sponsorship for?
It is, but I've got the bug and I've sponsored a box for my 40th birthday against United on the 29th of November.
Just tell me, is it more or less than 10 grand?
Less.
Okay. More or less than 9 grand. No, I'm joking. Right,
it's a good price, but the reason I wanted to come on is we cannot sell Gurhey. I'm actually really pleased for Eze. Obviously, it's a loss for the club, but he's going to a club where he played when he was a kid. I don't hate Arsenal. I think they should play him and he won't just rot on the bench like other clubs would. But we have to not lose any more players now in this transfer window. We need to buckle down and see who else we can get in that are innovative buys so that we start the season strong, because we've got a lot of games coming at us now back to back, and our squad aren't used to that. They're not used to playing 3 times a week, and we need to get a bit more depth in the squad as well, I think.
Katie, sorry to interrupt you quickly. Has the chairman come out and said about the signings? Because we had the previous caller wasn't happy. You've only signed a left back for $2.5 million and a free goalkeeper. Has he come out and said anything about that you're going to be getting more players in, or what?
He hasn't. I think that it's a very careful dance that Palace are playing at the moment, and we haven't heard anything that's kind of really either way that I've heard. But in the WhatsApp groups that I'm on with Palace fans across the world, there's a lovely group we're in. There's all sorts of chat about who we might be buying, who we might be selling. But I think the vibe today, now that we know we've lost Eze, is just keeping as many of the players that we've got at the moment. We don't want to sell Adam Wharton to Man United. No. We need to keep Gurhey. We just need to actually, kind of have these players realise what they're buying into. We've won 2 trophies in almost as many months. This is a club that is on the rise. This is the moment that Chelsea had many years ago, if you remember, where they started winning things. I believe that if the club play this right, with the right advisors and the right agents for the players that we're buying, there's something really special coming out of the club here. And that's what I'm most excited about.
Okay. What a great call. Thanks so much for coming on. Do you want to give your company a little plug?
Yes, please.
Oh, Jack, why have you done that? Jack, you're a disgrace. That's terrible, Jack. I can't believe... Jack! That's disgusting. So I can only apologise. With that, Jack, you're a naughty boy.
To Katie now.
That's Katie, I can only apologise. Jack, you're a disgrace. Jack's getting married the weekend as well. That's terrible. She knows her stuff as well. So next time we talk Palace, make sure she and the rest of the Palace fans come back. Jack, you are disgusting. Still to come, we'll be asking if anyone feels sorry for Graham Potter. Big game tonight, by the way. That one live on talkSPORT. And... I'm not going to say surprise guest. Nathan Blake will be joining us.
Can't wait, man.
Ben's going to Google him in case he has brain fog again. Before all of that, it's time for no Googling. Earlier this week, the PFA Young Player of the Year award was awarded to an English player for the 7th year in a row. That player was Morgan Rogers. We want to know great question, who's the last non-English player to win the PFA Young Player of the Year award? I'll give you a clue. It was 7 years ago. All right? The answer to that, and Nathan Blake, live on Drive and talkSPORT, coming up.
It's one of the lesser discussed issues in the Premier League, but is there a defensive crisis at Crystal Palace? Well, if Mark Gahey leaves, Oliver Glasner says there will be.
I just know if Mark leaves and is not available for Fredrikstad, we will have big troubles. That's pretty clear. We can't register anyone, so from my side he has to stay.
Well, Palace's European bow wasn't quite the spectacular introduction we were all expecting. They scraped past Norwegians Fredrikstad 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Now, there was no Eberechi Eze, who Glasner said had come down with an illness, I reckon Gunneritis. Youngster Justin Devaney deputised.
He's a fantastic player and he's an even better guy, and I mean, I think you can say what you want on tonight, but for us it was about focusing on, it doesn't matter who plays, even with the squad that we've got, we believe that everyone can step in.
Well, tonight's attention turns back to the Premier League as West Ham prepare to face Chelsea. Now, after Sunday's chastening 3-0 defeat at Sunderland, are the cracks already beginning to emerge for the Hammers? Harry Redknapp told us it's a tricky few weeks coming up.
You know, the fans, if they turn and they're not happy after 5 or 6 games, then it could be trouble there at West Ham. So let's hope they can pick up a positive result against Chelsea. Won't be easy.
West Ham v Chelsea is talkSPORT's exclusive commentary this evening, live from 7, kick-off at 8.
Blondie. Is it Blondie?
Yeah. Do you know what her real name is? Debbie Harry.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're a liar.
That's her name.
You know what's funny? Okay, if that's correct, fair
Yeah.
enough. But you look at me when I say to you, really, because you're lying again, aren't you?
No, that's her name. That is her name, Debbie Harry's Blondie.
Because you lie for fun. So when you about someone,
I like to wind you up on air.
and you go, oh,
That's Debbie Harry.
okay, nice.
All right.
Shout out to Harry.
Shout out Debbie Harry. Yeah. Before the break, I asked a question. What was the question? Earlier this week, PFA Young Player of the Year award was awarded to an English player for the 7th year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That was Morgan Rogers. 8 years ago, it wasn't. Who was the player 8 years ago? Or 8 years ago? I'll give you a clue to the answer, all right? First name is the person in the office, the young junior, that runs about and makes the drinks for everyone.
Runner.
No, makes the drinks for everyone, which is a tea bag, hot water and milk.
A tea.
So what's that boy called?
Tea boy.
Right, that's his first name. And the last...
Leroy Sané. TV. Come on!
Going to go Fred Flintstone's best mate. Would you got that?
Sané. No.
Barney.
Barney, I wouldn't have got that.
You don't know Fred Flintstone's mate?
No.
Who's
you look at me like I don't know who.
Everyone knows who's Fred's wife?
I don't know.
He calls it.
Thelma?
No.
What is it?
Wilma.
I was close.
We're 100% wrong.
Listen, I wasn't a Flintstones fan.
Why?
The only one I know from Flintstone, Bam Bam.
Who's that?
The little baby that was hard as anything. Because there was a guy who I played with at Ipswich called Richard Naylor.
Yeah.
His nickname was Bam Bam.
Oh, was it? Because
hard as anything, yeah.
That's nice. Still to come, we'll be here.
Bam Bam.
What?
Jack, shut up. I know
Jack, don't talk in his ear. What's the matter with you? Jack's getting
Honestly,
married.
He's like,
I know, just non-stop. Imagine what his wife's got to put up with.
Jeez.
Still time if you're listening, Amy. Still to come, we'll be hearing an update on Alexander Isak from Newcastle boss Eddie Howe. But now we're very excited. Our next guest is on Drive this afternoon. We've been teasing it since we came on air, and we're delighted to be joined on Drive Time live by former Wales striker. Make a note. Nathan Blakey's here, everyone. Hi, Nathan.
How you doing, Andy? How you doing, Darren?
How you doing, you right?
very well. Thank you so much for coming on. It's lovely to see you. Let me just paint the picture first, because if people are wondering why we're so excited to have you on today, Nathan, have a listen to what happened on Drive earlier this week.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to give you one because I've got a clue for the other. Write it down, right? Nathan Blake is one.
Nathan Blake?
He's one.
Who's Nathan Blake?
What?
I've never heard that footballer. Nathan Blake. I've never heard of that person before in my life.
Didn't he play for Sheffield United once?
Nathan Blake?
Yeah.
I've never heard that name in my life.
Okay. The GOAT is with us now to tell us all about Nathan Blake. Adrian, are you there?
I am here, yeah. Nathan Blake.
Have you heard of him?
Welsh international striker, used to play for Cardiff, yeah. He's a really good guy, a lovely guy, yeah. The other thing is, Nathan Blake is currently saying, who's Darren Bent? So I think it's fair.
Should we get Nathan Blake on the show tomorrow, Joe? Should we do that?
I tell you what, the edits are brilliant. The edits.
Really good.
Really good, aren't they, the edits?
Because you did say that.
Yeah, but what did I say straight afterwards? What I did remember.
You did remember afterwards.
Thank you very
much. That
much.
was only because a barrage of texts came in. Let's say a proper hello to Nathan again. Hi, Nathan. Thanks so much for coming on. When did you first hear about the fact that Darren Bent embarrassed himself live on national radio? Because everyone knows who you are.
I think probably a few minutes afterwards. And, people were saying that Marcus had purposely.
Well, do you know what, Dave? What I want to say is big apologies, because obviously I know exactly who you are. My brain went completely.
Brent is fine.
It went. So big apologies from me.
I still have it now. I have brain fog where I forget people's names or what have you. And I promise I won't call you Marcus.
I made a career out of it, so don't change there. Thank you so much for coming on. Listen, we'll take advantage of the fact that we've got you on our show. It's very kind of you. We're going to touch on a couple of your former clubs, if that's okay. Let's talk about Wolves. They're a team very close to my heart. They had a difficult start to the season. They lost 4-0 to Man City. Do you worry that they're going to be one of the sides that are going to be there or thereabouts come May time, fighting for their lives?
It's difficult to say, Andy, because I think how seasons start, people get a bit carried away with the first few results, and as well as I do, last season Wolves weren't in a great position, and then they turned everything around, and it was really comfortable. So it's a difficult one to say, but they have lost some Nouri and obviously Cunha, top players. One to your team, United. Nicked him off us, he did. Absolutely nicked him.
Yeah, superstar player.
Yeah, he is a really good player. So the new players that have come in, it's just going to be a matter of time. We just have to wait and see. You never know. I don't think anyone can point the finger and go, I think they'll go down. Even the teams that have come up look pretty strong. So not sure, mate. Honestly, I couldn't say. I'm sitting on the fence.
Nathan, when you look at Wolves as well,
you remembered his name this time?
Yeah, of course I do. Legend. When you look at the way Wolves started the season, it's a little bit unfair to kind of judge them because they were playing against a Manchester City side who are one of the best teams in the world. Is it a concern though that you've lost Cunha, you've lost Nouri? I know you've managed to re-sign now Strand Larsen on a permanent deal. Do you still think you need more quality in the squad though?
You always need more quality, Bendy. You know that. It's the Premier League. It's the toughest league in the world. And I think if I couldn't say to you, well, they can't be improved, Wolves. So if they can get more players in, they can get more quality in, then it's going to be welcomed, I'm sure. But there's not long till the window closes now. So whatever business they do, they're going to have to be pretty sharpish about it.
At the other end of the Premier League, the top half of the table, who are you fancying to win it? Because I don't know if you've listened to our show.
City.
Okay, you do think Man City, they're favourites in your eyes?
Yeah, it's because I think my opinion is with sport, I think we have a tendency to write off greatness sometimes. And I think, regardless of the players they've signed, I just think Guardiola is an absolute genius. The last manager I came across in my career was Alex Ferguson, who was anything like that. And Kenny Dalglish, I thought he was a bit of a genius as well. But I think I remember when United won their final title and the season before, they'd lost out, I think, on the final day. And Sir Alex went and just signed Van Persie, I think it was, masterstroke, and they ended up winning it. But it's because of what he knows, where he's been there, done it, and he's just not only a student of the game, he's a master of the game. And I think what Pep's done is probably changed UK football, to be honest with you. So I don't write off greatness. I just think it'll come again. Just, you know, the likes of Tiger Woods and people like that, been written off, Roger Federer's in this world, and they never cease to surprise you.
Yeah. Yep, class is permanent. Listen, before I let you go, what are you up to now? Because I was trying to work out where you are and what you're doing with your life. I found that in 2014 you won an award for Best Supporting Actor. Is that right? For your role in a short film, The Homing Bird, where you play a football coach. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I've done lots of things, Andy. Like yourself, you know, you've been around the block, different things, presenting and what have you. Done a bit of presenting, a bit of acting. At the moment, I'm just in the middle of, I've created this digital product for broadcast commentators and journalists and what have you called the Almanac.
Yeah.
You're from my era, Andy, so you'll remember the Almanac.
Back to the Future. Yeah.
There you go.
So what is it? Well, tell me more about it.
Well, it's a all-in-one football data hub. So it helps you. You know, Friday night research is a bit of a nightmare. You lose hours, so you have to prepare, track, and summarize matches. It's got over 700 leagues across the world, and it's great for podcasters, bloggers, commentators, coaches. That comes as a bit of a surprise. Where I spoke to my mate Eddie Newton about it, and he said he could use it scouting and recruitment. So it's got great capabilities, and we're hoping to scale up now, take it across UK, multiple territories, Europe, global, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some investment in. That's what we're building towards now, to scale up.
Okay. Sounds exciting.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I've got a new product, a sock I've created to relieve the calf stress.
Oh, what, a sock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was in lockdown basically, and I just, out of boredom, I have some of these creative ideas, and I just started to develop them. And 3 years later, yeah, they're coming to fruition.
And what is this? Because quite often we see players cut holes in their socks. Is it to avoid that happening?
Yeah, so I used to do it myself back in 2000.
Did you?
Yeah, so what we used to do was cut the top of the sock.
Yeah.
To relieve the stress at the back of the calf and the back of the knee. And another player, when I was at Blackburn, Craig Short, he used to wear the sleeves all the time. And I used to say to him, well, their compression, you know, when you're at full tilt, that can't be helping. And he used to pull them down all the time and be in a lot of sort of relief from pulling them down. So I just put some ideas together, created this sock, tried to get it patented during lockdown, managed to get a UK patent. I'm chatting to Puma at the moment about it.
What's it called?
It's called Viper.
Viper, okay.
Yeah. So,
nice.
So that and the Almanac,
Great.
Yeah, coming to fruition.
Sounds good. I can't believe we're the same age. You mentioned it earlier. I mean, you look much older than me.
I can't believe that Darren didn't know. He thought you were winding up with Debbie Harry. She was the first album I ever bought.
Yeah. She was on all our walls, right?
Yeah, she was gorgeous, man.
Yeah. Still is. Well, you know, we can hear your thoughts, Nathan.
Yeah. the first rap tune to come to Britain, I think, Rapture.
You know what? That's great. You put your hand on your chin. You went, she was gorgeous, she was.
Yeah, she was. She was lovely. I had a proper crush on her.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. Yeah. What a lovely fella you are. Thank you. I can only apologise on behalf of the whole listening world because Darren Bent forgot you. He didn't know you, he just forgot. It just popped out of his head. But because of that mistake, that means we got you on our show. So every cloud, I'm delighted you've turned up this afternoon.
Every cloud indeed. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Nathan.
Bless you both, boys.
Thank you very much. Good luck with these wonderful ideas you've got as well floating about.
Yes,
when the sock comes out, when the sock comes out, when you're in London, come in and we'll have a proper look and we'll plug it for you.
All right, Maka. Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan.
Take care.
Cheers, Nathan.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Don't pretend you remember him now. Cheers, Nathan. Yeah, that was funny with Debbie Harry. He's reminiscing. Oh, yeah, she was lovely.
And thoughts you go,
yeah. He forgot just for a moment. Good work, everyone. We've got loads coming up. You listen to Live Drive, talkSPORT 4 till 7, me and Benny. And we're building up, of course, to live commentary. Huge game at London Stadium sees West Ham take on Chelsea. That one live on talkSPORT later on tonight.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Goal! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences. That.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Job on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent alongside our very own Jack is getting married on Sunday. You've got Jack a present? Where you got him?
Coming.
Huh? He's coming. Where's my bottle of whiskey?
You just want, didn't you?
No. No, it's not what I want.
What are you going to give? I gave you my best trainer plug. Look here now.
Sorry. Do you want to talk trainers?
Yeah, I do.
Getting some now, are we?
Yeah.
Who's that down to?
Me.
Huh?
Me.
No, mate, no. Oh, send a text for me. Still to come, we'll be asking if there's any West Ham fans who want to lose tonight to put some pressure on the board. I'll explain more about that later on. Just quickly, Forest have signed Douglas Luiz from Juve on a season-long loan. I think that's a great deal.
Yeah,
I really do.
They're doing some good business, they are.
Right, time now for this.
It's time to introduce the most wise, wonderful, insightful character in the land of betting. The man, creature himself, Paddy's Wise Wolf on talkSPORT with Paddy Power.
Yeah, it's time now for Paddy's Wise Wolf. He's going to talk us through the best bet builder that we should be looking at this weekend. So let's say hello and good afternoon to the Wolf himself. Wolfie?
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a Friday. It's the end of the week.
Good. Well, lovely to have you on our show. And it is a Friday. Can you tell us how the bet builder works, please?
Yes. So if you imagine the bet builder as like a traditional accumulator, but with selections within matches. So instead of betting on just teams to win or draw, you are betting on things like shots on target, goals, fouls, both to score, over, under, all within the same game.
Okay. And it's a charity. Remind us of the charity that will benefit when we hit this.
Yeah, when this hits, we're looking at giving money to the Attitude Foundation, raising money for a myriad of causes for the LGBTQ community.
Right, Wolf. The game we're looking at is Sunday afternoon. The Premier League as Fulham play Manchester United at Craven Cottage. It's a 5-leg bet builder. These are our picks. I've gone for no surprise here. I've gone for Man United to win.
Yeah, and I think it's almost quite hard to argue that. I think the performance last week against Arsenal merited a result. Sort of not much you can do about a single goalkeeper error kind of costing you the match, really, can you?
No, you can't. Bentley, you're up next. What are you going for?
I've gone for Cunha to score.
Yeah, another one. He was probably Man United's best player in that front three last week. He had 3 shots on target against Arsenal, which you don't really get many players getting that active against Arsenal. 17-10 for him to score this week is a pretty good price, and he had 90 minutes, probably most likely to get 90 minutes out of anyone in the front three.
Next up is our producer. Our producer today is Ryan. Brian, what's Ryan gone for?
He has gone for Sasa Lukic to get booked, and that's a pretty fair shout in itself. He's the most booked player in the Premier League last season. He got booked 12 times in 30 matches. It's coming in at 9-4.
Okay, and we've got 2 left, I think. Oh, no, hold on. It says here, what about the people's pick? What happens here?
Yeah, so the people's pick is one of our most popular selections with the pundits, and we've got Benjamin Šeško to have a shot on target for that one today. He averages 1.1 shots on target per 90 minutes. Now, a lot of people will say it's the Bundesliga, it doesn't count as much as the Premier League, but he's a player that just likes to shoot. It's less about the accuracy in the goals and more that he's a player that just has an eye for goal naturally. Like, even in his 30-minute cameo against Arsenal, he still managed to get 2 off against them.
Okay, and we've got 1 left. That's yours, is that right?
Yes, my pick is Mateusz Cunha. Not Mateusz Cunha. To commit a foul? No, it is Mateusz Cunha. I'm misreading my notes. Mateusz Cunha to commit 2 or more fouls. He's averaged 2.1 per game. He's just constantly getting knocked over. He is really at the minute, he was the big threat in Man United's attack. He was fouled 3 times against Arsenal, and like I said, averaged 2.1 times per game last season. You'd expect him to have a lot of the ball against Fulham compared to Arsenal, so you think it's probably even more likely that that's going to have a chance of coming in.
Okay. It says here, Wolf analyses the picks and makes replacement suggestions. Is that right?
Yeah. So my
You're
personal
17.
suggestion is looking at the Sasa Lukic
You're
one.
17.
Yeah, he has been booked more than any player in the Premier League last season, but then also 12 times in 30 games, 1 in 3 shout. I feel like with everything else, you're looking at something that's actually a really... I think they're more on the... not on the safe side, but they're less likely to fall off than Sasa Lukic booking. So I've got Sasa Lukic to be fouled twice, to commit 2 fouls, rather than to get booked, which is coming in at a much lower 4-7 and brings the original bet from 15-1, if you're interested in that, down to 5-1.
Okay. That's up to Ryan to make that decision, right?
Yes, if he was willing to make it.
Ryan just said no, he's sticking.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes to really be challenged on what they think's going to happen, do they?
Ryan doesn't, sadly. Can you confirm the BetBuilder insurance deals and the value of the charity bet one more time, please?
Yes, so we've got Man United to win, Mateusz Cunha to score, Sasa Lukic to get booked, Mateusz Cunha to be fouled 2 or more times, and Benjamin Šeško to have a shot on target. Altogether coming in at just over 15-1, £10, returning 163.
Wise Wolf, have a great weekend. Thanks, pal.
Thank you. Take care.
There you go. There's Paddy Power's Wise Wolf Bet Builder for today. Minimum odds on Type 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy's Wise Wolf on talkSPORT with Paddy Power.
Yeah, there's a big old game in the Premier League. A huge game tonight. London Stadium sees West Ham take on Chelsea. I can't wait to watch this one. I'm very excited about it. We are going to ask West Ham fans a number of questions when we come back. One of them being, do you think the board has let the manager down? Because the ins have been, well, quite embarrassing.
Yeah, not great.
And the outs
have been
annoying.
Staggering.
So West Ham fans, you can phone up and have your say. And also just how big this is match day 2. And already we're asking the question, how much pressure is on the manager? West Ham fans, if you're going to the game, and Chelsea fans, if you're going to the game, you want to have your say, get dialing now. You'll be next. 03717 223344. West Ham Chelsea chat right after this, live on Drive on talkSPORT.
There's looking older, and then there's that. You look about 30.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons, though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB, though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Welcome back to our number 2 drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, and him over there, old Darren Bent.
Yeah, she was gorgeous, man.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Still to come, we'll be joined by our chief football correspondent for a bit of ready, steady cook. But now there's a big old London derby tonight. And of course, it's live right here on talkSPORT.
Welcome to a big London derby of East versus West.
Header by Bowen! Oh, what a goal! Squares it back to Palmer!
Chelsea, with the amount that they spent, that in itself brings obviously pressure on itself.
Finished at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland 3, West Ham 0.
It's a mess, West Ham. We don't actually know what Graham Potter is yet.
Potter, for me, he's got a lot of questions to answer.
West Ham is not a club that panics about its managers. We tend to stick with them and see it through.
Chelsea home, Forest away, Spurs at home, Palace at home, Everton away, Arsenal away. As a West Ham fan, you're looking at that this morning, how many points they're going to get?
Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0, no goals.
Are we seriously talking about a team that's just won the World Club Championship here, needing to spend to win the league? You know, I don't think so.
João Pedro with a great opportunity. Oh, what a dream first half. This is turning into for Chelsea.
I think there can be challenges this year.
Friday Night Football returns to the talkSPORT network.
Yeah, West Ham, that was Chelsea's live on talkSPORT tonight. Graham Potter coming under increasing pressure at the London Stadium because, of course, they were smashed 3-0 by newly promoted Sunderland. That was on the opening weekend, whilst Chelsea drew 0-0 with Palace. Graham Potter, he's been speaking to the media ahead of tonight's game. He called on the fans to get behind the team tonight.
No, I have to say that the atmosphere at Sunderland was one of the best I've experienced in the Premier League. To be fair, and obviously it makes a difference. Of course it does, because you know that environment, that atmosphere is you want it to be like that. But our responsibility is to help our supporters get to that point. We have to play better. We have to get better results. We know that we need to connect more with our home fans, and in that way, it's a great game for us.
Is it mad to suggest that the manager of West Ham for match day 2 is under huge amounts of pressure to get this one right? Because it's a tough game anyway, at the best of times. But when you've got spanked on your opening day of the season, you haven't got a decent squad, right? You've got no legs in the middle of the park. Your defenders don't really look comfortable in the formation he's playing. No. It's a different kind of forward, different formation to the football under David Moyes. So you could argue, a little bit like Ruben Amorim did when he came into Man United, that he hasn't got the players that he wants for the formation he's playing. It looks like so far the board and the club aren't backing him by bringing players in. Is it due off the left back? Callum Wilson's coming on, and free Walker Peters coming for.
Todibo as well, the centre half's coming.
But they haven't spent a lot of money, and obviously, you know, they're one of their star players. Jarrod Bowen's the main one, but Kudus leaving as well. What state are West Ham in at the moment as a club?
It was tough because obviously Graham Potter's come in there, big expectation. A lot of people kind of courted him to come back, and he's obviously felt like West Ham was the right situation for him. So the conversations in the kind of interview process must have been positive. So he must have been quite excited about it. It hasn't quite gone that way. I mean, they're playing Chelsea tonight, a fixture which they're absolutely terrible in. I think they've won 2 out of the last 10. I think against Chelsea, they've lost the last 3 in a row.
Is it that bad?
Yeah. And that's all comp, so that's not great. Well, mainly Premier League, actually. I think they're all Premier League. So that's a fixture that's not been kind to them either. Transfer market to Debo, I think he's decent from Nice, but didn't look great against Sunderland at all. They brought in Hermanson, who I think is a good goalkeeper, but again, we questioned some of the goals that winning against Sunderland. The header, the first one, I was a bit like, should he save that? Walker Peters has been very good for Southampton, but free transfer. Callum Wilson used to haunt West Ham, always used to score against West Ham. So they've obviously gone, he always scored against us, so stop that. We'll bring him in.
And not only that, the owners only watches West Ham play.
Yeah.
So if they've got a player that keeps scoring against them, they go, he must score for every.
Exactly. So you look at that and you go, it's not. I'm a big fan of Callum Wilson, always have been, but it's whether he can stay fit. And if he can't stay fit, then it's going to be tough for West Ham. But yeah, Graham Potter's got. He'd probably want more quality, especially when you lose someone like Kudus. You need to kind of replace him. But it's going to be a tough ask for Graham Potter at West Ham, because they're a tough bunch to please. Like, they lack commitment. They like to play a certain way, a certain brand of football. They're used to seeing European football down there at the London Stadium. They've won a European trophy not too long ago. And David Moyes, who I thought was doing a decent job. The fans had enough, was sick and tired of seeing the football that they're playing. So they went the Lopetegui route, which I thought was the wrong appointment. Now they've gone Graham Potter, which I thought was the right appointment. And he just hasn't got off to a good start, so he's got to start getting results sooner rather than later.
037172223 for West Ham fans will take your calls on all the above. That game is live on talkSPORT tonight. Kicks off at 8 p.m. And of course, Carlton Cole and Adam Cattrall will be taking your calls at 10 on the Sports Bar. We'll go back to this game in just a moment, but a bit of breaking news for you this afternoon. talkSPORT understands that Nottingham Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo faces an uncertain future after a breakdown in his relationship with the owner. We heard Nuno claim earlier on in today's show, actually, that the respect between the two of them is not what it used to be. Very bizarre that you'd come out and actually say that. Let's get more on this news now as we welcome talkSPORT's Ben Jacobs to the show. Hi, Ben. Welcome to Drive.
Good afternoon.
Listen, when I heard Nuno talk about his relationship with his owner, Marinakis, and that it had broken down, it's not what it was, I thought, you only hear from managers who talk like that when they know it's the beginning of the end. What did you make of it when you heard that?
Yeah, Antonio Conte did that famous press conference and went shortly after Tottenham's draw with Southampton, and there were similar vibes in terms of tone where Nuno Espirito Santo was very candid. He said they had a very, 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 he used the word 3 times, good relationship last season, and then said this season it's different, and there hasn't been a this season. So he was clearly referencing the summer, where Nottingham Forest have been busy and made some excellent signings on paper. Most recently, Douglas Luiz, James McAtee, another one, and Amari Hutchinson. So there's plenty to be excited about. But the feeling from speaking to sources today is that Evangelos Marinakis, the owner, has been doing a lot of the business, and Nuno Espirito Santo hasn't been kept as much in the loop. And one example, sources tell us, is the signing of Igor Jesus from Botafogo, where Nuno Espirito Santo only learned that deal was happening when it was very advanced. And I think the other factor here is Nuno spoke because prior to that press conference, some reports had already broken saying there was a possibility he may be sacked. So at the moment, all we know is his future is unclear. They've got a big game against Crystal Palace, and there's a fair amount of friction between those fan bases because of what's happened over the summer as well, with Marinakis driving the move to get Crystal Palace demoted from the Europa League and Forest getting bumped up. And that's where we stand. And my feeling is that it is quite an untenable situation between owner and manager. And as you say, once you establish that, it tends to be the beginning of the end.
Well, Ben, you said there apparently that obviously Marinakis is the one who's doing a lot of the business and Nuno's kind of kept in the dark. So I don't understand where the breakdown would be. I understand Nuno's probably not happy because he's not getting the players maybe that he would like. But why would Marinakis want to let him go if... Is it just simply for the fact that he's not happy dealing with players that Marinakis is bringing in?
Well, I think it's style of play. That's our understanding, as broken a little bit earlier by chief football correspondent Alex Crook. So this isn't only about the summer and signings. This is also about the style of football. And remember, not just Nottingham Forest, but Marinakis' whole parent group is going through a transition driven by Edu. And of course, Marinakis is responsible for hiring managers that maybe don't play a style of football that's as easy on the eye as other teams. And that goes back not just to sometimes Nuno, but also I think it would be fair to say Steve Cooper as well. But there's a real feeling that this new era under Edu, which will impact Nottingham Forest, is going to result in a different kind of style and a more consistent type of style, whatever that looks like, across the entire group. So more synergy between Forest and Olympiacos. And maybe there's a feeling amongst some sources within the Forest hierarchy that perhaps Nuno Espirito Santo is not the right kind of man with the right kind of philosophy. We know that Marinakis likes the style of Ange Postecoglou and also the high energy of Jurgen Klopp. So let's see how things develop. But it's definitely clear that there is some substance to this divide between manager and owner. And possibly a change is going to be made imminently as a consequence, even though actually Nuno's done a great job. He qualified them for Europe. He won his opening Premier League game. And yet still there is this broken relationship that seems to have come to the forefront over the summer.
Ben, listen, for the time being, thanks always for coming on. A real pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Let's go from one Ben to another. He's a Forest fan. He can react to that. It's very bizarre what's going on at that club. Hi, Ben.
How are we doing? All right?
Oh, good, man. What do you make of all this?
I'm a bit devastated, to be honest. Obviously, with Douglas Luiz coming last night, you think that's a really good signing and we could kick on. Obviously, we've got a really tricky game with a narrative behind it on Sunday afternoon, and then this kind of breaks. It sounds like, I mean, Nuno's asking for the sack almost with those kind of comments. So, I mean, I just don't know what's gone off. I think, as Ben Jacobs said there, Edu has probably been handling a lot of the transfer business and probably a hierarchy change, and Nuno feels like his nose has been put out of joint.
Ben, let me ask you then, because listen, I don't watch Forest every week. I, of course, catch the highlights, and there's some games where I do watch, but has the football or the style of football been that bad? Because whenever I seem to watch Nottingham Forest, like I did at the weekend when you beat, who did you beat? Brentford 3-1. I'm thinking that looks quite exciting. I mean, you've got Elliot Anderson and Gibbs White, Chris Wood scoring goals. I thought it looked quite exciting. Has it not always been the case?
I think Brentford was probably one of the few occasions where we'd dominated possession. We obviously played Sangare in there. I think maybe there was an over-reliance on Ilanga's pace last year, and we did tend to sit in. I even remember when we beat Man United at home. I mean, it was an awful performance, really, from Forest, apart from their defensive kind of resolute. You know, we hit Man United with an early goal and then defended all game. So I kind of understand that, you know, he wants a more attractive style of play, but he seemed to get that with Brentford. And as you say, Anderson and Sangare in the middle, and then Gibbs White kind of pulling the strings. So, I mean, you just got to be careful what you wish for, haven't you? That, you know, I think we've got a really competitive squad now, and we should be thinking about, you know, going into a really tricky game on Sunday, which I think is going to be tough with the narrative around, you know, Forest to blame for what's happened to Palace, which I don't think is accurate. But, you know, now we've got this to deal with, and I mean, it just sounds like it's the beginning of the end, doesn't it, for Nuno?
Thanks for coming. I think you're out of oil.
Yeah, I'm just reversing, mate.
Oh,
Sorry.
fine. Okay, right. Listen, I appreciate your call. I don't know what's going to happen at your club, but usually there's no smoke without fire, right? Something's going to happen soon. You get that feeling. But, Ben, thanks for your call. I appreciate that. Listen, we'll take calls on that throughout the show, but when we come out, we'll concentrate on what we were talking about when we started the 5 hour. And that, of course, is a big game tonight at the London Stadium. West Ham, they're taking on Chelsea. It's a game you can hear live on talkSPORT. When we come back, we'll take your calls on it on Drive.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defensive back. If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Drive and talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent alongside still to come. We'll be looking ahead to the rest of the weekend's games in Ready, Steady, Crook. Just quickly, former world champion James DeGale will make his bare-knuckle fighting debut next month. How about that? Did you see that?
No.
You not see it? His mum, this is true, 100% true, his mum texted me this morning the picture of the poster.
Yeah.
And I went, amazing. Can we get James on the show? And she went, not today. And I went, can we get him soon? And she went, you are first. You are first on my list.
Okay, nice.
So when he's ready to come in, we'll have James to go on drive. How cool would that be? Nottingham Forest have signed Douglas Lewis, from Juve on a season-long loan. The West Ham boss, Graham Potter, he's been speaking to the media ahead of tonight's game. It's live on talkSPORT, that one against Chelsea. He found himself in a bit of an awkward moment with our very own Ian Abrahams.
I mentioned a little bit earlier that the rest of the transfer window, the silver bullet, you called it a silver bullet, that will solve everything, isn't necessarily somebody coming into the team from outside. What is the silver bullet that will change?
There's no silver bullet. That's the point.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So funny, that.
What was that all about? Can we hear that again? That was quite funny, Jack. Can you play that again? Big build-up to a question. He just poo-pooed it. Have you got Jack? Just press stop, rewind, start again. Oh, look at Jack's little... Don't worry.
I mentioned a little bit earlier that
that's the point.
The rest of the transfer window, the silver bullet, you called it a silver bullet.
I said it up Fred, didn't it? Is that it? Oh, you're hard. Should we take phone calls on this big game of football? Scott is a West Ham fan. Hi, Scott.
Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, Darren. How are you both?
How are you doing, Ledger, right?
Very kind of you to ask. We're very well. How are you?
Yeah, well, I feel a bit rubbish at the moment, mate. I've just got the old summer cold.
Oh, dear. The old summer cold,
good.
not the new one, the old one.
No, not the new one. No, it was from a couple of years ago, to be honest. Yeah, it's really doing the chest in, to be honest. But yeah,
summer cold. What are your symptoms with the summer cold? Just blocked nose? Oh, jeez. Have you got a cough?
Yeah, just a little one, mate. Just a little one.
Blimey.
Yeah, so apart from that, feeling pretty downbeat about West Ham as well, to be honest. We're looking at, Nottingham Forest have just made some cracking signings, and if that's the owner who's done that, come on over to us, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'll take you. Because, even our owner makes the signings as well, apparently. And, if as and when we make them. And they've not been great. Ever since Declan Rice left, we've replaced him with players that can't even move in the midfield. It's not an exciting time to be a West Ham fan. I'm not looking forward to tonight's game, if I'll be perfect. I'm always looking forward to a game, but I'm not looking forward to the result. I think we're going to get a tonking, if I'll be perfectly honest.
Scott, do you put any blame on Graham Potter, or do you feel a bit sorry for him?
I don't feel sorry for him, and I don't put blame on him either. If I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not really struck on him as a coach. If I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think he's. When you watch the game I went to the game on Saturday, and in the first half, it weren't really we nullified them, we kept them pretty quiet, the home fans, etc. And you think, you come out second half, they're playing towards us, but their manager has clearly give them a kick up the backside, and they've come out rocking, and they've scored. Their first goal was scored by a player they signed for $2 million against a defence that has cost us the best part of $150 million to get together. It was shocking. Absolutely shocking when you're sitting and you've got like 80, 90 million worth of centre halves, £20 million goalkeeper, and then 40 million pounds worth of fullbacks. That's a lot of money to be spent on the defence and to concede 3 goals against a team that's just been newly promoted. I can't see any cohesion within the team whatsoever. If Jared Bowen's on one and he's playing well, that's our only chance that we've really got.
Yeah,
you can't rely on one player. You can't rely on one player. That's all we've got. We've got no pace going through.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I want to take as many calls as I can, Scott. Percentage terms, how much is the manager's fault? How much is the players? How much is the board?
Oh, I'm laying all the blame on the board, if I'll be perfectly honest.
Okay.
When you look at the other clubs, I'll finish on this. When you look at the other clubs, your Brentfords, Brightons, Bournemouths, and stuff like that, they've got even those 3 teams don't even reach the capacity of our stadium, right? They don't, but what they've got is they've got a recruitment team that sit there and they go out and they find these players for 10 million, 15 million. We're now trying to look at that Fernandez from Southampton. They paid 12 million for him.
Good player.
Now we're looking at spending 50 million on him. No, go and find that 12 million pound player.
Okay, Scott, we wish you well. Let's go to another West Ham fan, Warren. Hi, Warren.
Hi guys, good show as ever. Good to hear you.
Thank you, man. Likewise, good to hear you. What would you like to say?
I guess we're at joining the ever-growing list of ball knockers. It seems to like in any industry, be it healthcare, retail, or sport, good leadership comes from the top, and making sound decisions for that business, or in our case, a club. I'm 59. I've been going since I was 5. Season ticket for 30+ years, and the mood just seems to be deteriorating more and more. And I think around making decisions, particularly managerial appointments, seem to be has-beens or flops at previous clubs. We never seem to go for an up-and-coming, strong manager who's looking to make his bones, looking to make an impact. And that seems to be drifting into appointments player-wise as well now. We just seem to be all over the place in terms of what we're trying to do in terms of our hires. And I think we just bounce from one name to another in the hope that the ball can placate the fans, but it doesn't work anymore.
So what happens now then? Where do you go from here?
It's a great question. I mean, I think the majority of people I speak to, majority of people I sit around, are totally tired with the board, fed up with the constant diatribe that we hear. Never seems to be any progress. I think that it would be great from our perspective for a takeover, but it's not going to happen.
No.
We're stuck with what we've got. I think it would be, it's interesting with Potter. I think looking at his stats, he's got the worst win rate of any West Ham manager in modern times.
Has he really?
I think he's.
He must be. Yeah.
He's looking pretty dire. So in that respect,
Let me ask you this question. Warren, let me ask you this question. If it meant that the owners would realise just how dire things are at West Ham at the moment, with 9 days to go till that window closes, if it meant that you lost tonight for them to actually realise, right, we're gonna have to put our hands in our pockets and spend 60, 70, 80 million. Do you want to win the game tonight still, or do you want it to be so obvious to everyone involved, West Ham, that you get tonked tonight, they've got to buy?
You know what? It's one of them, isn't it? I'm not being too good, so my daughter's took my ticket for her friend tonight, so I'm not actually there. But broken clocks are right twice a day.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, if it was the kick that we need, and I hate myself for saying this, and I'll have to face an awful lot of people socially in a pub environment, that we lost. If it changed our rest of our season, we did something about it.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's the injection that we need to make some.
You take that defeat
change.
tonight.
At the moment, I probably would, because it's no worse than the numerous defeats I've watched last year, and the Tonk, 5-0 last time. I think we scored 1 goal the last 3 games. They scored 10.
Yeah.
So if it means that we change our attitude, change our approach, change what we spend, but do you know what? I can't see that happening either.
No, I can't. Even if you get beat 5-0, I can't see you spending loads of money. Listen, Warren, thanks so much for your call. We spoke to you before.
You have, yeah.
Okay,
a time ago, but yeah, you have.
Great call. Make sure you keep calling us back. Thanks, pal.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks. You can hear the sadness in the West Ham fans, can't you?
Yes.
And they're talking about that club.
I was sitting there as he was talking, I was thinking, it must be hard being a West Ham fan. Must be hard.
They are such a big club and a good club as well. And their fans are desperate, certainly on the back of winning the conference, they're desperate for more.
I don't think they've ever been happy with the owners, have they? From the moment they moved them from Upton Park, that was it. Even in the conference, which was fantastic for them, they just haven't built on that.
A bit like Spurs, right? Even though they win the Europa League.
Not happy.
No, they're not happy. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to the rest of the weekend's games in Ready, Steady, Quick First, so it's time for no Googling. And ahead of West Ham against Chelsea tonight, Frank Lampard was the first player this century to move between the clubs as he joined Chelsea. We want to know, who was the first player this century to move the other way? So who's the first player this century to go from Chelsea to West Ham? The answer to that and more coming up live, Drive and talkSPORT in seconds. Stay there, don't move. Drive and talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein. Darren Bent alongside. Before the break, asked the question, who's the first player this century to move from Chelsea to West Ham? Any idea?
Oh, do you want to give me a clue? Yeah,
I haven't really thought of the clue. I will go for... I can't think of it. He works for talkSPORT.
What's
The answer.
Scotty Minto.
No.
He played for both of them, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Chelsea and West Ham, did he play for West Ham?
Scott Minto played for West Ham, right?
Did he? Scott Minto played for West Ham?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he did, yeah.
Not him.
No.
I think Chelsea, West Colton Cole.
Colton Cole's the answer, yeah. What year do you reckon that was?
Ooh, 2008.
6.
Was it, yeah?
Yeah. Still to come, we'll be having some fun with the best of talk. Just quickly as well, we've got all monitors on in here, and at the moment on Sky Sports is the US Open, 9-ball. That means this week a year ago is when I went out there.
I know.
How quick has that flown by?
Yeah.
That's insane, isn't it?
Do you think you got a chance to done all right? Do you feel like in a better place now after your...
Yeah, much better. I'm going on there's a smaller UK tour of 9-ball. And I'm going on that, yeah. A bit like you with paddle, right?
No, but I'm about to take over with paddle.
What? No, mate. No. I've won a professional tournament. When you get to my level, then you can.
Right.
But until then, paddle. Why aren't you going for a comp?
I'm going to. I've got playing a comp.
Oh, you're a proper comp?
Yeah.
When?
I'm playing actually. Remember, I told you yesterday I'm playing a league.
Oh, that's not a comp. That's a league.
Okay, mate.
You want to play in a comp?
Harder to win a league, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's two of you in paddle. I'm not comfortable with that because it's doubles.
Shout out John Watson, my partner.
Yeah, elementary. You won't do that. Right, Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White has been speaking exclusively to talkSPORT's Max Scott this afternoon. He was, of course, subject to interest from Spurs earlier on in the window before eventually deciding to extend his contract at the City Ground. And he said that he thought the idea of leaving Forest was just too heartbreaking.
With everything that happened this summer, it was like it hit home a bit. Like, I've been through a lot with this club these past 3 years. And to feel like I was going to miss out on, what we achieved last season sort of broke me a little bit. And I wanted to go through this next stage with Forest and, play Europa League football with them because, me and a few others were the ones that 3 years ago we came in. This was our goal to stay in the league and try and push up. And last season, we probably did achieve more than what we expected to do. But I feel like that's credit to the players, to the manager, to the owner for investing well and, just creating that real bond in the team. And like I said, it's a home from home. So I sort of had that that broken-hearted feeling, like when you split up with your first childhood girlfriend.
Yeah.
If you're watching it on YouTube, you would have seen him sat there in Nottingham Forest seats. Couldn't see who was behind him or who was in front of him. I get the feeling Marinakis was right next to him there, just out of shot.
Yeah, just looked at him, holding up cue cards. What to say?
There's that Morgan Gibbs, and I'm really pleased to be here. Right, time now for this.
By the way, do you two like haddock? Dinner, either swordfish and salad or steak and calamari.
I actually had ice cream outside the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
I did have a burger today. You do tend to let it slip on a Sunday.
Cooking it up today is
Yes, time of the day's ready, steady Crook. We're joined by talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, who looks ahead to the biggest games in the Premier League this weekend. I'm not sure what on earth he's wearing. What is happening there? Let's say hello. And good afternoon.
Why is he smiling at that as well?
He's dressed like a waiter. Crookie, hello. Good afternoon. What's going on?
Good afternoon, boys. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. What are you dressed as? A clown? What's going on there?
He's so happy.
I've been a clown. I've got a nice suit on, a nice tie that the wife bought me for my birthday, and a nice shirt. I'm at racing tonight. I'm at Goodwood tonight for the races.
I mean, are you one of the horses?
I'm certainly not one of the jockeys, am I?
It's a lovely suit, that is. If people aren't watching on YouTube, how would you describe that suit to them?
Well, it's a tweed number, isn't it? Thanks to Mark Darcy, by the way. They do look after me in that department. Other tailors are available.
Crookie, how'd you get that link, mate? Oh, good suit, Sam.
I'll tell you what.
That was Darren Ambrose.
He's used a lot of material making that suit, hasn't he, Crookie?
He's got plenty left over.
Right, listen, we love having you on the show. Thank you as always for making time for us. So let's start with Arsenal. They host Leeds tomorrow evening. Oh, what a game that is. Both sides began their season with 3 points. That's Arsenal and Leeds won at home to Everton. Crookie, what have you got for us ahead of this game?
Yeah, I was at Old Trafford last weekend. It wasn't brilliant from Arsenal. It was attritional. Obviously, there's been a lot said this week about Victor Gyökeres and an underwhelming debut. I didn't think Martin Zubamendi pulled up any trees either. I did speak to Mikel Arteta after that game, and he admitted that those new signings will take time to bed in.
Well, very happy with all of them. With some of them, they're still not, probably the three of them are still at the highest level physically to achieve what we want to achieve in terms of our game model, but their contribution is going to be key. And today, looking at the bench and having the ability to change the game is something that we haven't had in the past.
There you go, Mikel Arteta after Arsenal's win at Old Trafford last weekend. I expect better from Arsenal at home to Leeds tomorrow. I think we're going to see more of a cohesive performance.
Yeah, I think so as well, Crookie. Listen, you've got to give credit to Manchester United. I thought they played well last week. Although, even though Arsenal, when they had possession of the ball, I don't think they were very good with it. Maybe a few nerves. Their record at Old Trafford isn't great. But you're right, I think it was important that they got off to a win. And maybe the news of Eze as well might just give everyone a lift, Crookie.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, he wasn't registered in time to feature, so I think he'll probably be there on a watching brief tomorrow. There is a suggestion that maybe he's going to get the number 10 shirt at Arsenal. But I think people like Bukayo Saka and Martin Ødegaard need to step up. I thought they were both relatively anonymous last week.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also a big game for Gyökeres because he wasn't that impressive at all. And a game against newly promoted side, you think, OK, this is where maybe either A, look good or B, maybe get off the mark.
Yeah, Arsenal got a tremendous record against newly promoted teams and against Leeds in particular. But he just didn't look fit to me, Gyökeres. And I guess that's understandable because he was effectively on strike during pre-season. So he's not really had any training during the off-season.
Before we move on, let's get your view, or both of you actually. Arsenal against Leeds, 5:30 tomorrow afternoon, late evening. That one kicks off. Benny, how do you see it going?
4-0, Arsenal.
Okay, Crookie?
Yeah, I'm a little bit less positive on Arsenal's behalf. I think 2-0 would be a fairly solid result for them.
Okay. Let's move on to Sunday's game between Fulham and the mighty Manchester United. Fulham snatched a late draw. That was away to Brighton last weekend. United, Arsenal. Crookie, what have you got for us on that game?
I'm going to be there actually for Game Day Live on Sunday. I think this is a massive one for Manchester United because there were a lot of positives last weekend, but they did lose again. Ultimately, if they were to lose to Fulham, then it's almost like this season is just carrying on where the last one left off. I spoke to Ruben Amorim, though, after the game, and he was urging United fans to focus on the performance as opposed to the result.
The price of playing for this club, you have to win no matter what, and people just are going to look for the results. But I struggled a lot last season, but I'm really proud of my players, and if they play like this, I will defend my players until the end. So I'm really proud. I think the fans are really proud, but in the end we need to win. So it's one step closer to win games, I think. So let's try to win the next one.
I think he's right, Ruben Amorim. There was a lot to like about that Manchester United performance. 22 shots they had. That's more they've had in a single game since they put 8 past Arsenal all those years ago. But they've got to turn that into a positive result now. They've got Fulham away this weekend, Grimsby in the League Cup, which is a potential banana skin, live on talkSPORT in midweek, and then Burnley at home. They need to win all 3 for me.
Crookie, did you not think it was a little bit... Because Man United's problem last year was scoring goals, putting the ball in the back of the net. And yes, they played really well against Arsenal. They were fantastic in some respects, certainly Cunha. But did it not feel like the same old problems? Couldn't finish the chances off?
Yeah, I guess there's an element of that. But it just felt like they were more of a team. It felt like the players knew what he wanted them to do. I thought Cunha and Mbeumo were exceptional. Arsenal are a tough side to score against. I would be surprised if we get to the end of the season if there's any team in the league who've got a better defensive record than Arsenal. That's why I was so annoyed from a Manchester United perspective with a mistake the goalkeeper made, because you can't afford to give Arsenal a 1-0 lead. And they've got to be resolute defensively this weekend, United. If they do that, I think they'll outscore Fulham.
Is there any way you can sit even closer to that speaker? just wondering. We can't know what race he's coming up with. Listen, stay with Man United just for a moment. There was a time, and it's maybe over the last 2 seasons, that as a United fan, when I find it incredibly frustrating, we kept losing or not winning. That for me, it was all about the result. But I sort of feel now with the money United have spent and that new look front 3, the result and the performance is as important.
Agreed. What you want to see is a Manchester United team that the fans can be proud of. And I thought they could be last weekend. I'll push back on Roy Keane, suggesting standards have fallen so low that a 1-0 defeat at home to Arsenal was seen as a positive. It was the performance that was positive.
Yeah.
And yes, standards have fallen that low. That's where Manchester United are at this moment in time.
Yeah. You can't tell that fella to shut up, can you? How do you see it going? Fulham against Man United, 4:30 on Sunday. I think United will win that 3-1. Benty, what do you think?
I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Okay, Crookie?
I'm on 2-1 United as well. Okay. I think it'll be an away win. They always win at Fulham.
A massive, I hope so. A massive game that's live and exclusive on talkSPORT tomorrow. The lunchtime kick-off, 12:30, sees Man City take on Spurs. Who you been speaking to ahead of this one?
Well, Thomas Frank has been addressing the media today. Positive start for him last week in terms of that victory at home to Burnley, but obviously disappointment in the transfer market. I'm sure Benty's been crowing about the fact they've got Eberechi Eze when it looked like he'd be off to Tottenham, and Thomas Frank was asked about missing out on him today.
I don't know about whoever the player is, whoever they support. I actually do not care too much about, because we all have a past. The main thing is if the player want to come or not want to come. So if they are from Spain, Denmark, Brazil, doesn't matter. If they want to come, perfect.
Players who want to play for Tottenham. It's a blow for them, isn't it? There's no two ways around it, because they had a deal agreed, both with Spurs and with Eze, and then Arsenal come in last minute, and feels like a win-win for Arsenal. They've got a great player, and they've taken him from under the noses of their bitter rivals.
Yeah, I would have been, if he'd gone there, I'd have been a bit concerned, because he's a good player with what they're achieving down there. Like Thomas Frank, I think Spurs are going to have a good season. But I just wonder, I know it's obviously not about this, but actually no, it is. Because, Crookie, let me ask you then, because there was something reported the other day, I don't know if it's true or not, but they were trying to get Eze, but then all of a sudden it was Richarlison, who had a great opening day of the season, that he was kind of surplus to requirements. They were going to try and put him in with a deal, with either to get Visser or to appease a deal. Is that right? They were going to get rid of Richarlison?
Well, Tottenham didn't push back on that story, which tells you there was a lot of truth to it. And I spoke to Troy Deeney about this morning, former teammate of Richarlison. How will he be feeling? Because he started the season, he played really well against PSG in the Super Cup. He scored twice at home to Burnley. Thomas Frank heaped praise on him afterwards. And then they're trying to send him to Crystal Palace, which, by the way, I don't think he would have accepted that move. But his head must be all over the place now.
Yeah, he'd be frustrated. He'd be annoyed, because now he knows that the club don't really believe in him. So regardless what he does this season...
He looked good.
And he looked really good against Burnley, but it's tough. That's horrible. I don't like them kind of situations.
How do you see that one going, Crookie? Man City against Spurs live and exclusive on talkSPORT. It's the lunchtime kick-off tomorrow, Crookie.
I worry about Tottenham in midfield. I think they could get overrun. Reinders was brilliant last week for City. City probably will concede. Do you know what? I'm going to go 4-1 to City. Wow. Sorry, Tottenham.
Okay.
I'm going 3-1. No, I'm going 3-0.
Okay, I'm going to go 3-1 City as well. Just quickly, before we let you go, Crookie, any news on Man United's search for a goalkeeper? They've been linked to a young Belgian this morning.
Yeah, we did this in the middle of July. Sonny Lammers plays for Royal Antwerp, £17 million the fee. I think it's getting closer, which is interesting, because on Monday, my sources there were saying, look, a goalkeeper's not a priority position. We wanted to strengthen the front line. If we can bring in a midfielder, we will. And this is one for the future. I don't think this is a goalkeeper who's going to come in and be number one straight away. Okay. What he will do is put pressure on Andre Onana. And I think Onana states, there's a lot of Manchester United fans who probably feel like he needs to move on. But Ruben Amorim sees something in him. So let's see what happens.
Okay. Do you expect any big names to come into Manchester United before the window closes?
No, not now. Obviously, they tried for Belieber, but that was never really on. They're big admirers of Adam Wharton, but Palace are going to be loath to lose him. So I think they've spent the bulk of their money at the top end of the pitch. I do still worry about midfield, but I want to see Kobbie Mainoo this weekend. I couldn't understand why he didn't get a minute against Arsenal.
Crookie, listen, enjoy the races. The second race, go for the horse Creosote. I've heard he's good over fences.
Very good.
See you later.
I'll take that on the chin. Cheers, guys.
Which one?
Honestly.
See you later, Crookie. Have a good one.
Bye, boys.
He looks very fancy down in that outfit.
He's a legend.
He's great. He's a legend. He makes our show better. He's brilliant. Still to come on our show. We'll find out who Sam Matterface was talking about here.
We've kind of guessed what your pre-show preparation is, which is to drink too much the night before.
I can tell you that's the sports bar. We'll also be joined live from the London Stadium by the magnet Danny Murphy.
Spit on me and nibble my shoulder.
Maybe later. Plus, we'll be joined live in the studio by our friend, this man.
Monya, referee looks at it, doesn't give it. Monya's going, he's flying for another.
Yes, we can't wait for that. All that and loads more coming up the last hour drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. When we come back, the bestest part of any bestest day ever, the best of talkSPORT after this.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans that's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defensive back. If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
I like the graphics over the talkSPORT bit. Look all the lights on the
What? What am I looking at?
All the things, the lights going on the talkSPORT little logo. I like that.
You like that? I've done that this morning. It's driver talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, alongside still to come. We'll be joined live in the studio by former England and Lions winger Hugo Monye. We had a chat with him outside. Very cool bloke, isn't he?
Cool guy, man.
Although I've spotted a mistake on him.
Have you?
I don't want to tell. I'll tell you when he's in the studio. Right. That'll unsettle him. Just quickly, Spurs boss Thomas Frank has said that he only wants players at the club who want to be there after missing out on Eberici Eze. Former world champion James DeGale will make a bare-knuckle fighting debut next month.
I swear, when I used to watch him, he used to cut easy. So, what's going to happen with that?
Good luck with that one. Tomorrow, live only on DAZN, unbeaten Jack Rafferty defends his British and Commonwealth titles against the dangerous southpaw Mark Chamberlain. That's in a domestic showdown. You can sign up at DAZN.com/boxing.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Yeah, time for the best of talkSPORT and friends. We run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister station. Let's start things off with this morning's Brecky Show. Gabby Abonal was alongside the superstar that's Alan Brazil. Gabby made his commentary debut last week. They got him to recreate some classic commentary clips.
Right, let's try another one for Gabby on Comms Lahore.
This could be the most dramatic story of the season. It's Torres.
Unbelievable!
Oh, for goodness
sake.
Why do you keep going, oh?
I don't know why they did that. It's Gary Neville, isn't it? Yeah. What did you make of Gabby on comms last week?
I thought he did all right. Do you know what's hard?
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
I didn't hit what game did I didn't know about that.
Villa.
Oh, was he good?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Do you know what's hard about being comms, right? When you're the third, and he was the third voice.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
That is so hard.
Yeah, Gooseberry.
I did that for England with Jim Proudfoot and Piercy. Mate, it's so hard.
You don't want to be there. It's not you.
Yeah, you almost feel like you're right the third wheel. Like,
yeah. Now, what can you add that they already haven't said? What's the greatest commentary moment of all time?
I think it's all over. It is now.
What's that?
Was scored, wasn't it? 66.
What? No.
Yeah, it was.
What are you talking about? Of course it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. They think it's all over when he goes through it is now.
It's not 66.
It is 66 when the last goal that he scores. Idiot. you had me there like, oh no, I got this wrong here.
Well, it's talkSPORT pairing would make the worst commentary team.
The worst.
I think Andy Jacobs on comms would be amazingly bad. That's pathetic. What's the point of that part?
Yes, I want to hear that.
Don't forget the Weekend Breakfast Show returns tomorrow morning. Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino.
Now, earlier in the week, Andy called into the sports bar pretending to be a Spurs fan called 4 Till Heaven. O'Hara
4 till 7, do you get it?
O'Hara didn't realise he was being pranked, and his was his response on last night's show.
I mean, what an idiot. Sums him up, right? Yeah. And it obviously misses the sports bar because his 4 till 7 shows bang average. The fact that Goldstein wants to phone in, he's got to be better. Do you know what I mean? It weren't a great call. There weren't much about that call that was any good. You know, like, it was really average. In the end, I got bored and I think we just binned him off, didn't we?
Boring! Right, listen, let's talk about the dog.
what's funny? Wait.
Okay.
I am looking forward to this response from you.
Okay, so firstly, when Jamie Hall says it was average, well, he fell for it. So he fell for an average performance from me, so I take that as a huge compliment. Secondly, I don't miss a sports bar at all. I was actually at home halfway through the second bottle of rosé when Ryan Bryan said, do you want to phone up and put O'Hara in his place? Yeah, of course I don't mind doing it. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, the sports bar against drive. I honestly didn't know that show was still going until he asked me to come on it. I thought they'd been that off years ago.
You should have to hammer off 4 till 7. You should have to say it's an average show.
The fact that I called myself 4 till heaven and he still didn't work it out. There's a reason Cundy calls him Numbnuts O'Hara. The Sports Bar Weekender. Do you want me to say this or you?
You can go. You're in.
Returns tonight with Adam Catcher and Carlton Cole. Proper presenters for that shift. Don't forget to check out 21 Minutes to Go. It's mine and Cundy's brand new podcast. It's available to download wherever you get your podcast. 21 Minutes to Go. This week, we talk about someone that used to work for talkSPORT. Oh, by jingo, he gets slagged off.
Oh, wow.
21 Minutes to Go. It's very funny. Go download it. And there's swearing in it as well.
Okay, nice.
Adult stuff. And, of course, make sure you download the talkSPORT app. You can swipe between talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations so you never miss a moment. When we come back, we have Ugo Monye in the studio.
Show me the Monye.
Show me the Monye. We'll be playing a bit of that and we'll be talking lots of sports with our friends at TNT Sports. So make sure you join me and them two right after this live on Drive.
It's not good. I think everybody at the club should be together, but it's not the reality.
This on the same day that reports in Italy suggest owner Evangelos Marinakis is considering parting company with the Forest boss. Those rumours have been rubbish to talkSPORT, though. Meanwhile, talkSPORT has exclusively spoken to Morgan Gibbs-White this afternoon, who's told us issues away from the pitch prompted him to stay in the East Midlands over moving to Spurs.
A really difficult period for me and my fiancée. Obviously, having my second child, but there was a few complications with all of that. and I believed in being professional, showing up every day.
You'll be able to watch that in full on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. Now, Premier League action returns to talkSPORT this evening as West Ham host Chelsea. Both sides are still looking for their opening win of the campaign. Enzo Maresca's not expecting an easy ride in East London.
All the Premier League games, they are tough, they are difficult. If you remember the game at home last year was a difficult game for us. They defend very well. Tomorrow I expect exactly the same. And again, the Premier League just started, so you can see that they are trying to find some solution in the same way we are doing.
Kickoffs live at 8 o'clock. Phil Foden and Rodri have both been past fit for City's clash with Spurs tomorrow. This as Ruben Dias has signed a new contract with City lasting until 2029. The game at the Etihad is live and exclusive to talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime. And Eddie Howe says he'd have rather had Alexander Isak in his squad this season than Newcastle air their dirty laundry throughout the summer.
I don't think it had to be this way. It's disappointing that I'm having to sort of discuss it every press conference at length and taking away from, as I said, the football. We've got Liverpool coming up in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, and that's going to be a tougher game without having any distraction around us.
He'll be without the striker for Monday's visit of Liverpool, of course the club with which he's been heavily linked this summer. Hear that one exclusively live on talkSPORT.
Welcome back to the last hour of our show. Fact, this is Friday Night Live, TNT Sports' new partnership with talkSPORT, because every Friday, myself and Darren Bent will be joined by some of the biggest names from TNT Sports to discuss what promises to be another pulsating season. Football is back, and TNT Sports is the only place to watch everything big competition with over 700 matches broadcast live from elite European club football to English domestic league and cup competitions this season. Still to come, we're going to be joined by two-time Premier League winner Joleon Lescott, head of Man City against Spurs. That's tomorrow. You can watch that one live on TNT Sports or listen to it live on talkSPORT. And we're bringing you team news from tonight's massive game between West Ham and Chelsea. But now we are delighted to be joined in the studio by our friend, former England and Lions winger. We had him in the studio last week. He was so good, we said, get him back. And they went, fine, we will. Ugo Monye's here. Hello, Ugo.
Good evening. How you doing?
Oh, good. Very well. Look at you, all Adidas up.
Ah, classic me.
If people listened to last week's show, I do have a problem.
Okay, talk to me.
Because there is a big no-no that's being committed here. A big no-no. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, but we're not.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I won't say it because I'll get you in trouble, but how did that happen? I mean, that's a huge no-no.
I know. Yeah.
I can't say it because our listeners... Because if I said you've got Nike tracksuit bottoms on, that would be awful.
Oh, hypothetically, that would be terrible.
So what would happen, Bente, you're a fashion guru, what would happen in that
scenario? But I know him. He's a fashionable guy. Smells great.
He does smell... He looks great.
Yeah, looks great. He wouldn't do that. I know he's better than that.
I wouldn't.
He wouldn't do that.
Addy till I die.
Exactly.
It's lovely to have you in the studio. Are you all right? You had a good week?
I've had a really busy week, actually.
What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Been up in Sunderland quite a lot. We've got the Women's Rugby World Cup kicking off tonight.
We're going to talk about that in a bit, yeah.
Which is great. So, been up and down. No, it's been a lovely week.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming in.
No,
We've got lots to talk to you about, obviously. Let's start with your club, Arsenal.
Oh, how
right?
good.
What do you make? They've stolen all the headlines from Spurs this week. They basically hijacked their move for every each year. So what have you made of how how your club have dealt with that, what's happened, what's been in the news over the last 7 days?
I think the headline's not so much the signing of Eze, it's just the timing of it. Yeah. And when you look at the choreography and the timeline of it, because we announced the re-sign or extension of Trossard, and I was like, hang on a minute, because last week we had to sell to sign, and then Trossard's come and was like, Eze's done. Terms have been agreed with Tottenham, and then literally within 12 hours, Eze's blown up on my phone. I just thought this is the best banter signing to do a job on Tottenham.
It wasn't just you're signing a really, really good player. It's the fact, and it's not just the fact that he was going to sign for someone else. It's the fact that it was going to be for Spurs.
Just reminded me of Sol Campbell. Do you know what I mean? Like going...
Well, I think this is not necessarily worse than the Sol Campbell. No, it's not worse. The Sol Campbell one's horrific. But why this is so close is because it from what I understand, it was all signed, sealed and delivered from Spurs with regards to the clubs that agreed the fee.
Yep.
I was under the impression that the player and the clubs had agreed personal terms.
Correct.
But Palace said, you can have him in a minute, but not yet. He's going to play a game. And then he never did play that game because Arsenal came in. So Spurs should have had it tied up before that game.
They should, but then where does the fault lie? If you're desperate for a player and after Maddison been out for ACL, just get it done. Get it done, move for him. Everyone knows he's an Arsenal fan. We know his history. He was formerly at Arsenal. Just get it done. Get your business done early. And I sound like a hypocrite because Arsenal ain't got their business done early. But the way we've swooped in and snatched a player from, I was going to say a rival, they're not. They're actually not.
Well, they are rival. They are rival.
Geographical rival.
Oh, come on,
in terms of quality, they're not a rival.
They were more successful than you last season.
Yeah, and I heard your debates last year, and I tend to agree with you. They did win a trophy.
They are a rival, come on. I know there's that North London divide, but they are still a big rivals here.
They've looked a lot better from what I saw of them in the Super Cup final and in their opening game. Yeah, okay, that they've got better, but in terms of the history, the stature of a club, like we're a million miles off, and I'm thrilled that Eze has joined a club that's genuinely can compete in the Premier League as well as in the Champions League.
I was saying to Andy there that, because you're right in terms of getting your business early, but the way that this has kind of all come about tells me that Eze never really wanted to join Spurs. Because if you want to get it done, you want that move, you want to go and play in the Champions League, he probably himself would have got it done a while ago and gone, do you know what? I've had my medical, let's get it done. But the fact that he was waiting and waiting and waiting told me there's something that wasn't quite sitting right with him. And then, of course, as soon as Arsenal come, he's like, yes, here we go.
From my understanding, I mean, everyone knows the World Cup year. And for him to be able to get his best opportunity of going to a World Cup, he had to leave Crystal Palace. I think he got a little bit of cold feet when Arsenal got a bit of cold feet and showed a bit of disinterest. And for him, the next best option would have been Tottenham. The minute Arteta picked the phone up or Berta picked the phone up, it was over.
Yeah, I agree.
Because his heart is Arsenal.
Did you see that?
Do you reckon it's one of them where he's starting with the dotted line, if the phone's gone Arsenal, he's gone, gotta go.
Sign it Mickey Mouse. That's not my signature. No, to do with me, that one. Did you see that stat over the last 24 hours that Arteta has spent, since he's been manager of Arsenal, just over 1.1 billion euros?
It's a lot of
and in that same time, Pep has spent less.
Yeah, it's wild.
So I mean, you need a return. You need a return, right? You've just signed Eze. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Right? Benty was talking yesterday. Arsenal fans were phoning up saying it might be the missing piece of that jigsaw. Do you see it as, okay, no excuse? If we have a season where all our important players stay fit, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, etc. I mean, there's some big names, Saliba, there's some big name players in the Arsenal team. Do you think there's no excuses now?
No, we're out of excuses. We're out of excuses, 100%. The evolution of this Arteta side, finishing second, that was like an achievement. 2 years ago, we missed it. And then last year, I felt like we had to win it at that point. Now we've invested so much. And then the critical piece was finding a striker. We've now got Gyökeres, now signing Eze on top of that. Of course, injury dependent, but that's just luck. And everyone gets injuries. We should stop whinging about it. We've never had a deeper quality squad at Arsenal over the last few years. This has to be the year where we deliver.
My only thing with that, right? And
Sorry. What? Just in a sentence, what's deliver? Because you don't mean FA Cup and League Cup, do you?
No,
Premier League or Champions League?
It's the Premier League, yeah.
My only thing with that, because you're talking about the money he spent, and they both spent a lot, and he spent more than Pep, right? But look where Pep's coming into. Pep's coming into a team where it was...
Oh, you've got no argument here, Ben.
Well, no, okay, but it has to be some kind of relevance. So Pep goes to Manchester City. They've already won the Premier League twice with, in recent times, Pellegrini, Mancini a little bit before that.
He won the treble.
No, my point is that you can't compare their times in the Premier League because Pep's come in and he's coming off the back of teams winning trophies. Arsenal, he came in off the back of finishing 5th, 6th, Then he had 2 eighth place finishes.
But in that time, Pepper spent round about 900 million euros and won the treble.
Yeah,
You've spent more and won nothing.
Because we had to spend more.
But you've won. Come on, there's no.
No, but there is because
if you won maybe since he started building, if you won 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, got to the final of the Champions League, I'd agree with you.
No, but I get it. But their starting points have to be different. Arteta had to be so much and to spend more because the team was so much poorer. Pep's coming at a decent level.
See, I agree with your argument because he changed expectation. We went from a club that always wished and hoped to now we have to expect.
Exactly.
But now we're 4 years in. Now we have to win. The argument is it's a brand new paragraph, it's a brand new chapter. We've gone from a team just hoping we can compete to know we can compete to consistently competing. We're bored of competing. We have to win.
See, I said to Bentley this morning that since that stat was made, you haven't won anything. And Bentley went, you won the FA Cup. And I went, no. The stat is all about spending. So since Arteta has started to buy players, he hasn't won anything.
Agreed. And I guess going back to your point in terms of the starting point, and I think that is a fair argument. If from that starting point when Arteta came in, we could forecast, say, he's spent $1.1 billion and have an FA Cup, we'd say it's unacceptable.
Well, you had the FA Cup before you started spending money. That's my point.
Yeah, okay.
So since you spent that first penny, you haven't won anything.
If United, City, Liverpool, if anyone else did that and had our lack of silverware, we'd be both bantering them.
Yeah. I do think, and it pains me to say, if Isak stays at Newcastle, in my head, you're favourites for the league.
Fact.
Although Man City fans will be shouting the radio, what you
they look
about?
good.
It's cool because we got Jonan coming on, and I've got a lot of questions for him in terms of where City are, which is quite interesting.
Well, let's pause that football conversation for a moment because as we've got you in the studio, it's only right that we touch on some rugby. You mentioned when you came in, the Women's World Cup gets underway tonight. England, they get things started with a game against the USA. Yep. That's at the Stadium of Light, obviously in Sunderland. How much are you looking forward to this getting underway? England, they're strong favourites for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, they are strong favourites. They're the world number one. They're playing at home, and everything around this tournament has been world record breaking. 375,000 tickets been sold. The finals already sold at 80,000, which is a world record. So we know an appetite. There's a thirst to get behind the team. It's about delivering now. They've lost the last 2 World Cup finals, unfortunately, off the back of being like on a 27-game winning streak. It's remarkable the form they're into. But the Black Ferns, who are the world champions, the New Zealanders, they're an unbelievable tournament team. They always come into the tournament, maybe not red hot, but just know how to navigate their way through a tournament.
Can I ask, there was a time in this country not too long ago when people didn't take women's football too seriously.
Yep.
And then, of course, we know what the Lionesses did. They won the Euros here in our own backyard. And now everyone absolutely loves it. My kids, I've got 2 girls, one of them plays football. It's chalk and cheese, completely different. Where is women's rugby at the moment?
It's probably never been in a better place, especially in this country. I think we've been the flag bearer and paved the way to put pressure on other unions to invest more. We're seeing, going back to the Arsenal conversation, we've invested heavily and we're seeing every bit of result. We've won the Six Nations the last 7 times, 4 Grand Slams in a row. They're the world number one. To be able to host an event like this, not off the back of goodwill, but because of how good they are. I think they're one of the best sports teams, male or female, on the planet. I'm not quite sure anyone who's got a record like what they have.
Okay, wow.
I go back to 2010 when we last hosted the World Cup and the final was held at my old club, Harlequins, the Twickenham Stoop, and we had a world record of 14,000 who turned up for the final. 15 years on, we're selling out the Allianz Stadium, 82,000. So the game's never been in a better place.
Okay, how long, I know nothing about this, right?
That's
so
great.
Excuse my ignorance, but that's why you're here to answer my questions. How long does the tournament last for?
So the World Cup final is on the 27th of September, so about 4.5 weeks. So it's a condensed tournament, thick and fast. All of the home nations play this weekend. We've got England playing tonight, Wales play Scotland tomorrow, Ireland play New Zealand, play Japan, on Sunday. So we'll get to see plenty of that.
Men's football, very tribal. When you go to a match like Arsenal Leeds, sometimes it can be a bit naughty, shall we say. But when you go and see women's football, I feel it's more of a friendly and a familiar atmosphere. Yeah. Same for rugby?
You'll get exactly the same. You don't really see trouble in the men's game.
No, you don't.
But the age demographic, what you'll see tonight at Sunderland Stadium of Light, is loads of families, loads of mums, loads of dads, loads of kids. It will be amazing. It will feel like a festival. It's a real celebration rather than you'll have USA fans sit next to English fans. You'll have Kiwi fans, South African fans, people whose teams just aren't playing. They just want to see the best players in the world, and they'll be on show tonight.
All the matches live on TNT Sports, of course. You're listening to me, Andy Goldstein. Hugo Monier's here. We've got Darren Bent. This is Friday Night Live with our friends at TNT Sports. More from the three of us right after this, live on talkSPORT.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences. If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Listen to Friday Night Live, TNT Sports, new partnership with talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Premier League 100 club member Darren Bent, and TNT Sports pundit, former England winger, and single Hugo Monier. How's your love life at the moment, all right? All good?
Is that
You just said to me in the break you can mention it.
This is what I'm dealing with. Every day.
Wow.
Still to come, we'll be joined by the Magnet Danny Murphy, live from the London Stadium ahead of West Ham against Chelsea. It's live on talkSPORT tonight. Just quickly, Nuno Espirito Santo, this is nuts, by the way, if you just turned on your radio, faces an uncertain future as Forest gaffer after a breakdown in his relationship with the owner. We played a bit of audio. Have you heard that, by the way? Do you hear?
That's clean off.
Yeah, as soon as a manager comes out and says we're not as tight as we used to be, you got problems.
The end.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, yeah. Spurs go to Man City. It's at 12:30 tomorrow, a game that you can watch live on TNT Sports. Also listen live on talkSPORT. The City boss, Pep Guardiola, has been speaking to the media ahead of that one. He was asked if they're looking for revenge after being beaten 4-0 by Spurs last time out.
No, it's just another opportunity of revenge. There's no sense. So always... The Spurs have been a tough opponent for us, but this is a completely new season, and so what happened in the past, in good or things, is past. It's a new season, new vibes, and the game will be hopefully like last season, the first 50-20 minutes, that we create a lot to go get comfortable winning, and after, because the Spurs always have been a really, really good team with a good players.
Let's look ahead to that game now. We're delighted to be joined by a two-time title winner with Manchester City TNT Sports pundit Joleon Lescott. Hi, Joleon. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks so much for coming on. Listen, we've got lots to talk to you about. With regards to Man City, this is a big game at the weekend. We'll find out a bit more about them. But we saw just how good Man City were last time out, last weekend. Liverpool, one of the favourites. They looked a little bit shaky at the back. Arsenal, they got a lucky win at Old Trafford against Man United. But I thought out of the three favourites, Man City produced the goods. Do you think they're going under the radar a bit?
I wouldn't say that. Like the fact that it's only 1 week, I think we can all get carried away with your team, whether it's a good or bad result. But yeah, you would still say Liverpool are favourites.
Jody, you'd have to say, obviously, I know you spend a lot of time around Manchester City. You would have seen them a lot in pre-season. Out of the new signings, who's the one that's impressed you the most?
Yeah, Tijani Reiner's definitely, having seen him in the Club World Cup. Just seen him operate in different positions in midfield, whether it was the deepest one or the more advanced. He kind of gave me the Ilkay Gundogan vibe of a few seasons ago, when he finished top goal scorer. He just has the capability and the intelligence to just play in any of the roles.
He's mad. He's absolutely mad. Jonas Hugo here. Good to see you. Just on the point that Andy was just mentioning there's always so much noise around Man City, especially last year with the legal situation that they're in, Pep, what's happening with his future. But it seems like all the headlines have been robbed by Arsenal this year, the business that they're doing, Chelsea, of course, Club World Cup champions. Do you feel as if with the lack of noise around City, that is actually going to help them flourish and produce what they've done over the last few years?
You hope so. Well, from a City perspective, yeah, definitely you would. That would allude to that. But listen, they have to get the job done. They'll be fully focused on winning games. As Pep said, he's not getting carried away with previous results against Spurs in previous seasons. So it's just 2 games in. It's very early days, isn't it?
John, how important is it that Ruben Dias signed the new contract extension? Because when him and Stones are fit as a pairing, they're probably one of the best in the league, if not the best. So how important do you think it was for himself personally and the club that he signed it?
Yeah, definitely huge signing, because he's not just a top player, he's a leader among men. And as he said, that group is developing and changing and transitioning into a new group of players. So you need someone that's familiar with the surroundings, the expectations and the responsibility. And he looks like he wants that responsibility. And you know, Benty, like when you've got players of that in the dressing room that don't shy away from it, especially when it gets tough, they may not necessarily need him just as much now in terms of just keeping the standards high. But then when it gets tough, the business end of the season, they're the characters that you need to lean on.
Absolutely. And when we talk about the spine of the team, because I remember your spine at Manchester City, strong, hard to play against. You look at the goalkeeper situation now, we don't know what's going on with Ederson. But obviously James Trafford has come in for a lot of money. Really, really good goalkeeper. Probably expecting to be the number one, if Ederson goes, of course. You got faith that he could be not so much the missing link, because Ederson's been so good, but do you think he's the right man to be in goal for Manchester City?
Yeah, definitely. Having worked with Traff, I know his capabilities. He'll thrive on that opportunity, given it. He definitely would have gone in there believing he could compete with Ederson. Like you said, it isn't to take them forward. It's probably just to carry the mantle. Ederson's been outstanding. for what he's needed to do, and Traff has all the attributes to continue that.
Joe, can I ask you about a position you know really well, just defence? Why is it that it feels like the Premier League defences seem to be struggling so much over the last couple of years?
It's a funny one because I think coaches now are taking the individual attributes away from defenders. For me, like we ask forwards to express themselves and play to their strengths, where teams and setups seem to be like, well, this is how I want my team to defend. Well, not every player is situated to or has the attributes to defend the same way. But we don't. It's funny because we don't ask forwards with different attributes, wingers with different attributes to play the same way. You expect them to figure it out, where defenders, it's like, oh no, we all want you to play a high line or relatively high line, and then kind of react. And as I said, some players are more comfortable sitting a bit deeper, going 1v1, slowing the attack down. And as I said, I think it's taken for granted the attributes defenders have.
Good question as well. Just a quick word about Man City's opponents, Spurs. Do you feel a bit sorry for them this week?
So it's not done. I don't know if I feel sorry for them, but yeah, it's very frustrated for them. Very frustrated.
Would that be on their minds if that was your club and it wouldn't nothing to do with the players when they cross that white line? No,
because if you're the player that he was coming into kind of position, you'd be thinking, well, I need to show you why you don't need him. Do you know what I mean? So you just use that as motivation in a positive way.
What are the aspirations for Tottenham this season?
I think to be a lot more consistent in the league. I'm not going to get carried away and say they need to be challenging for the title or anything like that. They like to think they won't be looking over their shoulder in terms of where they finished, and just being very competitive and not being. I'll probably say winning the games they're expected to win a bit more this season. I think they haven't done that in recent years. Again, what relating to Hugo's question, I think the previous manager asked them to defend in a way that didn't suit everyone, and that kind of nullified how far they could go. And as I said, I think Thomas Frank is a different type of manager, and it'll have a little bit more balance to the approach.
Last one for me, Joe. I just want to quickly touch on one of your old former sides, Everton. Didn't look great against Leeds last week. In fact, I thought they looked a lot worse than I thought they were actually going to. You worried about them at all? No, you know David Moyes really well as well. You worried about them, or no? Do you think they'll be okay?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Listen, I'm probably not as finished as high as anticipated before the season started, but in regards to last season, I don't see them finishing down the bottom. I definitely think there'll be progression there. David Moyes works wonders with any kind of squad in regards to small or tight-knit groups, so I'm sure they're looking to sign players. Jack is really excited to go there and stuff like that, so I'm sure they're going to get a better version of him, getting to get more game time.
Yeah, there's so many great places you can go to see some brilliant events this weekend. We talked about the Etihad. I know that Arsenal taking on Leeds, but the biggest event has to be at the Jägermeister tent on Sunday at 6 p.m, right?
6 p.m, 6 till 7. Yourself down there, guys.
What do? You're performing at Reading Festival, right?
I'm not singing. I'm DJing, yeah. I'm DJing.
What does that involve, DJing?
Selecting a bunch of songs and playing them for the crowd. But no, yeah, Majestic there, we was working together a few weeks ago and he gave me the opportunity, so I got to give him a shout out and a thank you.
That's nice. You enjoy it, do you?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just going to do some editing in a minute now when I come off the phone before the game starts.
Okay. All right, don't blame us. That's the ticket's still available. It sounds like it's going to be an unbelievable evening.
It's a sellout. No, it's a sellout. There's no ticket. I'm joking. You
never know, right?
Yeah.
Tickets still available then. Only a few at the Jägermeister 10. That's Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Reading Festival. Jolien, thanks so much for coming on. A real pleasure. What will the score be? Let's finish with that. What will the score be? Man City against Spurs. How do you see it going?
I'm going to say 2-1 City.
Okay. That one, of course, live on TNT Sports. Jolien, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Good luck in that Jägermeister tent. You ever thought about, either of you, thought about doing that sort of thing?
Absolutely not.
You don't fancy it?
No.
I tried DJing. Couldn't beat match.
Is it not what?
I couldn't beat match.
What?
I don't even know what that means.
So you know that you select two tracks, and you obviously it sounds good. You got to mix the two.
Yeah.
I could never get the beats to match.
I thought it's all like technology.
Preloaded.
Yeah, just press a button, right?
Nah, mate. My DJ 173. He used to do it with records, man. No, my mate. It's a running joke. My friend Ozzy.
Sounds like a bust, doesn't it?
Shout out Ozzy Foster. DJ 173. I used to watch him at work with records, man. I don't know how.
Old school nowadays. Just press a button, select your tunes.
Hard, man. So hard to do.
Oh, yeah, let me find that violin. You're listening to Friday Night Live, TNT Sports, new partnership with talkSPORT, where every Friday myself and Darren Bent will be joined by some of the biggest names from TNT Sports in what promises to be another pulsating season. Still to come, we'll, of course, bring you the team news for West Ham against Chelsea as soon as that is in. But first, it's time for No Googling. You like that?
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Didn't expect that.
Try and beat match this one. Ahead of Man City against Spurs, it's live on TNT Sports and talkSPORT tomorrow. We want to know who's the last player to move directly from City to Spurs.
I know it straight away.
The answer to that and more coming up the last 30 minutes of our show. Stay where you are. We'll see you right after this.
We start with an interesting admission from Nuno Espirito Santo this afternoon.
Yeah, it's not so close. It's not on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Is that a good thing, though? Or?
No, it's not good. It's not good. I think everybody at the club should be together.
This on the same day that reports in Italy suggest owner Evangelos Marinakis is considering parting company with the Forest boss. Those rumours have been rubbished to talkSPORT, though. Meanwhile, talkSPORT has exclusively spoken to Morgan Gibbs-White this afternoon. You'll be able to watch that in full on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. Now, Premier League action returns to talkSPORT this evening as West Ham host Chelsea. Both
are difficult. The Premier League just started, so you can see that they are trying to find some solution in the same way we are doing.
Kickoffs live at 8 o'clock. Phil Foden and Rodri have both been past fit for City's clash with Spurs tomorrow. This as Ruben Dias has signed a new contract with City lasting until 2029. The game at the Etihad is live and exclusive to talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime. And Eddie Howe says he'd have rather had Alexander Isak in his squad this season than Newcastle air their dirty laundry throughout the summer.
I don't think it had to be this way. It's disappointing that I'm having to sort of discuss it every press conference at length.
Friday Night Live on talkSPORT with our friends at TNT Sports. Me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent alongside.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on then.
Mr. Monier's here. Hugo to his friends. Before the break, I asked the question, who's the last player to move directly from Man City to Spurs? Bentley got it.
Adebayor.
Emmanuel Adebayor. What year was that, do you reckon, lads? Have a guess. Around the whole length of the season. The whole length of the pitch. What year do you reckon that was?
06?
No.
It was late in that.
Much late. Well, not much late in
I'd
that.
say 2010 or 11.
12.
Yeah.
Ooh,
12.
okay.
I can get your reaction to this. Bit of breaking news this evening. talkSPORT understands that Nottingham Forest have an emergency board meeting planned
He's gone.
following Nuno's comments today about the breakdown in his relationship with the owner, Marinakis. There are now questions over whether he will be in charge for that game at Palace on Sunday. Now, usually when you get an emergency board meeting, that's the beginning of the end, Bentley.
Well, the emergency board meetings to draw up solutions and replacements, but now I'd be gutted because he's with Nuno Espirito Santo. I mean, he's done wonders at Nottingham Forest, where he's taken that football club as well. But this owner's eccentric. Do you know what I mean? So if he's not happy with something, he'll make it known. But I tell you what, if you're West Ham and things don't go well, they could do a lot worse than get Nuno, because they can't play the way that West Ham play football with the players they've got. They can't play that expansive football that Potter wants them to play. Like, it might change. Whereas Nuno sit on the counter attack. Tell you.
Big Ange, I mean, he's available. Can you see that happening?
I'd love it if Thomas Frank went there. How funny would that be?
Good luck getting out of this building tonight. That would never. I don't think Thomas Frank would ever do that.
He wouldn't. But for Nuno, he's delivered so much.
Yeah.
What, Oliver Glasner? Can you imagine if he went there?
That would be wild.
That's worse, Glasner.
That would be.
Oh my God.
Hugo's face there.
Oh my God.
I think the world would explode if that happened. Anyway, we'll get more on that a bit later on. In fact, from us at 7, Hugh.
Who, me?
What?
Me?
No, Hugh Wuzzenkopf.
Okay, yeah.
We'll host live coverage of West Ham against Chelsea. That one kicks off at 8 p.m. We can look ahead to that game now as we're joined from the London Stadium by the former Liverpool midfielder, your co-commentator on talkSPORT tonight, as we say hello and good evening to the Magnet, Danny Murphy. Smurf, good evening to you.
Good evening, boys. It's been a while. What a pleasure to speak to you both again.
How was... Oh, you don't even sound like you mean that. How was your summer? Was it all right?
I did actually mean it.
Oh.
I did actually mean it. I think it's because I'm so sarcastic normally. Just expect it.
How was your summer? Did you play a lot of golf?
I did, mate. Yeah, I'm playing pretty well at the moment.
Okay.
And I'd like it to continue, but I think it will do what it always does and deteriorate as the weather does.
What are you playing off?
7.
That's good.
What about you? Where are you at? You still playing?
Bandit. He's a bandit, isn't he?
Shut your face, no one else.
Are you still playing, mate?
Yeah,
Or you're too busy with podcasts and pool tournaments and looking at yourself in the mirror?
I'll have you know, I've always been too busy with me looking in the mirror. I'm playing off 20.7 at the moment, Dan.
Well, my 15-year-old's got a better handicap than you.
All right, well, it's not competition. I bet he hasn't got his own
Life's
drive time show, has he? Hey?
No, not yet.
Right.
Or his own hair products going into supermarkets.
By the way,
all over
3 weeks
country.
that comes out. I'll send you a... Actually, I won't bother. Right. Listen, let's start with this game tonight. We'll have team news soon, fingers crossed. Very early on in the season, but already, I mean, it's nuts to say this, already it feels like such a big night for West Ham and Graham Potter, doesn't it?
It does, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's disastrous start for them. Not just losing the opening day, but the way they lost. 3-0 capitulation in the second half. I do feel for him a bit. You have to look at the tools he's been given. I mean, they've hardly spent. They've brought a couple in, but they've let arguably their best player or joint best player, Kudus and Bowen, isn't it? Kudus go.
Yeah.
And they've not brought in anyone who can fill his boots. And if anything, at the end of last season, the talk was, how can we improve this squad, not make it worse? So, West Ham fans have been craving for a certain type of football for quite a long time now, and they're not seeing it yet, are they? And I think, as I said, it's a tough one, because any manager worth his salt needs some help to get the players in and give himself a chance.
On the flip side, Murph, Chelsea, I mean, Enzo Maresca's been talking about he needs another centre-back, which is crazy because they've got so many signings, they've brought in so many. But I thought against Palace, opening day of the season, looked a little bit tired. It was a long season last season with the Club World Cup. They'll be looking at this fixture thinking they should win it, really. If all their players that show up, they're big players, they should win this one.
Yeah, I mean, they'll want to get back on. They'll want to get on track and get their first win. They had pretty good opportunities against Palace without too many clear-cut, but their stats were pretty good in terms of getting into the final third. So they'd hope to, if they had that much domination tonight, they would hope to win the game. I think you give them a little bit of leeway, like you said. I mean, I think someone said they'd only been back a week before that first Palace game. And I don't know how you found it, Benty, but I always needed at least 3 or 4 weeks to get anywhere near. I know they had a longer season, but when you go away for a couple of weeks and you have some time off and then you're a week into training and play a game, it's hard to be at your best.
Dan, it's Hugo here. Just back onto West Ham.
Hugo, say it properly.
Sorry, Hugo. It's Hugo here. Sorry, apologies. I get my name wrong all the time. And it does feel wild talking about it and managerial uncertainty. And I heard Karen Brady on talkSPORT last week, pledging her support behind Graham Potter. But with the breaking news of Nuno, do you think that invokes a slightly different interest and puts a greater importance on not just the result, but the type of performance we might see tonight?
Do you know what? It's a strange one because if Chelsea come in and win by 4 and rip them apart, they ripped them apart here last season, if my memory serves me well. If they do that, then that conversation's going to gain momentum. I don't think it should. I really don't, because I don't think Nuno can come in here and wave a magic wand and make these players something they're not. He's had a bit of money to spend at Forest. They've brought in a lot of players over the last couple of years. So I hope that doesn't happen, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what football's like. Look, if West Ham were to dig out a 1-0 here tonight or draw and be unlucky and play well and the fans clap them off, that conversation we won't hear tomorrow. That's where we're at with West Ham at the moment. It feels like we've been like that with West Ham for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah. Smurf, listen, we're going to let you go for the time being. We'll be back, though, in about 3 or 4 minutes. We'll have team news ahead of that game that's live on talkSPORT tonight, West Ham against Chelsea. Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
Laters.
You too. Right, while we're waiting to go back to the London Stadium for that team news, let's turn our attention away from football ever so briefly and touch on a bit of cycling, because starting tomorrow, TNT Sports will bring you exclusive coverage of the 2025 race. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to attempt to.
Vuelta.
What is it? Vuelta a España.
Yeah,
I
should have stitched her up there.
You should have done. Yeah, you'll learn. Yeah. It's a 3-week cycling race which will take place in Italy, France, Andorra and Spain, and makes up a third and final Grand Tour of the 2025 men's road cycling season. I obviously know nothing about it, but we're going to speak to someone that knows more than anyone on the planet. Let's find out more as we welcome the former British road race champion and TNT Sports pundit, the wonderful Adam Blythe joins us. Adam, good evening to you.
Gentlemen, how are we doing? Thanks
He's
for
also
having me.
stunning. He's a stunning human.
He's a good-looking lad, is he?
Gorgeous. Really fit.
This camera's not doing anything for me tonight, mate. I've been building a shed today, so I'm not looking my best, sadly.
I know the feeling. It feels like I've been building a shed every single day. What a great excuse that is. Sorry, I'm a bit like I was building a shed. No one's going to question that one. Right, listen, let's talk about this race. I don't know anything about it, but that's why we got the experts on. That's you. I do know this is the newest 3-week race of the Grand Tour trio. But is there an argument that it's actually the most competitive and exciting of the year? Is that fair or not?
Yeah, I mean, probably not fair. I think the Tour de France is probably the one to win, the hardest one to win. Before that, you have the Tour of Italy, the Giro d'Italia, and then lastly, you have the Vuelta a España, which is coming up. The Vuelta is generally, it's a target for a lot of the riders who don't do probably the Tour de France, and if they do the Tour de France and they have a crash or something happens, illness, they'll generally then focus on the Vuelta a España. So that's where we get the competition coming along. Not the Tadej Pogacar of the sports, the real goats, but you do have a lot of riders that may not have got the result they wanted, as I said, in the Tour de France, and then they come to the Vuelta to try and win one of the 3 Grand Tours. So it does lend itself to a lot more aggressive racing in terms of the big goals done in terms of the Tour de France. So let's go and see what we can do at the Vuelta. Let's go and push the boundaries of how much we can really hurt ourselves. So it is a good one. It's an exciting one to watch.
It's exciting. It's brand new. It's the first time it started outside of Spain. And correct me if I'm wrong, but does this type of race lend itself to the hilly riders, the one that have absolute max output? Because a lot of the stages end quite high, isn't that right?
Yeah, mate. I think there's like 11 stages that are above 2,500 meters where they finish on. So wow. I think there's 5 or 7 stages, which is around 4,500 meters of climbing, which it's like half of Everest. So basically you climb up to half of Everest, up to base camp on one day. And there's 21 days of racing. So, yeah, it's hard. It suits the hilly riders. It suits the riders that are 55 kilos that can ride at 180 beats per minute for 4.5 hours if they need to.
Can you convert those metrics into something that we can understand? Because 180 beats per minute, like, I mean, I know that's an insane output when you're 55 kilograms, but to your average person that goes to the gym, what does that look like? What does it feel like?
It's basically...
I've got ChatGPT next to me if you want that.
That might be helpful, yeah. It's quite difficult.
Unbelievable question.
Imagine going for like a steady jog on a treadmill for 3 hours, and then for the last hour and a half, you run 3 or 4 miles an hour quicker, and you have to hold on to that for as long as you can. These guys do it, but they're running at first, and then they're basically like sprinting not sprinting, but pretty much close to sprinting for a good hour, hour and a half at the end of the stage. And that's not every day, but I'd say roughly on average, it's around 4,000 calories these riders will burn in a day. So it's a lot of effort.
How much are you training for something like this? Because I get it, not everyone
building a shed. That's how much you're training.
Everyone could just rock up and do it. But that sounds so tough. So how long are these riders training for an event like this?
Start of the year. So winter training generally starts in November. That'll come back around until, if you're doing the Vuelta, you start with the winter training, and then it'll slowly build up on probably average 30 hours a week, I'd say. A couple of steady weeks in there that might be sort of a 15-hour week. But, yeah, 30 hours a week on average. Ramp it up to maybe 40 hours on a big week, 45 hours in a big week. But it's pretty much from November all the way around till they are now, with obviously training for different aspects. So doing hill efforts, doing sprints, doing time trial efforts. There's a lot goes into it, but it's non-stop. Wow. And it's not just, it's like with every sport that's a professional sport. It's not just when you get back, when you do the training, you get back off the bike, you've got to weigh your food, you've got to make sure you're eating not too much. Weight's such a big thing that a lot of riders come back, weigh the rice, weigh the chicken, no fats, can't have a drink in the evening. So it's not just the physical effort of training, but it's the mental aspect of getting back off the bike and going, I'm buzzing for my 100 grams of rice and 50 grams of chicken or whatever it is. It's brutal.
Sounds like Bentley when he's down on the 14th floor in the canteen. Listen, Adam, you know what? I'll be honest with you, right? This wasn't my bag at all. You've totally sold it to me. I know it's live over on TNT Sports. It starts tomorrow, but I'll definitely be checking it out because it sounds incredibly grueling, something I need to see, actually. You've sold it really well. Yeah,
get stuck in, mate. It's good. And, just get on your bike, give it a little go. See if you can get up to 4,000 calories. See how long it takes.
Yeah, don't push it. Adam, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy it. Thanks, pal.
Gents, pleasure. Take care.
Thanks, man. That all kicks off tomorrow live on TNT Sports. That sounds incredible, doesn't it? I think I'm right in saying the team news. There's a massive game of football tonight. It's live on talkSPORT. Struggling West Ham, they take on Chelsea. The team news has just landed. Jim Proudfoot is watching for talkSPORT. He's your commentator, and he has everything we need to know. Jim, good evening to you.
Andy, a very good evening to you. Well, 1 change for West Ham and 3 for Chelsea after their respective results last weekend. Thomas Souček coming back in to replace Guido Rodriguez in the heart of the West Ham midfield. Chelsea have Malo Gusto in for Reece James. Tosin's back from injury to replace Achiampong at centre-half. And there's a first Chelsea Premier League start for Liam Delap. He replaces Jamie Giddins with João Pedro moving wide. So West Ham United give a home debut to Hermansen in goal. Tojibo, Kilman and Laguerre the back 3. Wan-Bissaka, Ward-Prowse, Souček and Diouf also makes his home debut at left wing back. And then Paquetá in support of Bowen and Fulkrug, who's still preferred to Wilson up front for the Hammers. For Chelsea, Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Chalobah, Tosin and Cucurella, Enzo and Caicedo, Neto, Palmer, João Pedro and Delap up front, which means Stevo, the young Brazilian who made his debut last weekend, is still on the bench. Danny Murphy's alongside me. As you know, the build-up starts at 7 and we kick off at 8.
Can't wait for that one. Thanks for that, Jim. Up next, Darren Bent will be going head-to-head with former England and Lions winger Ugo Monye in DB versus TNT Sports.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans that's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live, TNT Sports new partnership with talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Premier League 100 club member Darren Bent, and TNT Sports pundit and former England winger and Housewives' favourite Ugo Monye is with us. Follow us at 7. Hugh Wilson-Croft hosts live coverage of West Ham against Chelsea. That one all kicks off at 8 p.m. Before we go, it's time for this.
It's time!
It is tight and tense.
We're flying and our fists are punching.
DB versus TNT! What drama on talkSPORT, just when you think you've seen it all.
Good night.
Yeah, this is our brand new feature, DB v TNT Bracket Sports, where every week on Friday Night Live, Premier League 100 club member Darren Bent puts himself and pits himself against our special guest in the studio from TNT Sports. This week, of course, we're joined by former England and Lions winger Ugo Monye. Every Friday, they're going to be predicting some of the biggest games from the Premier League this weekend. Now, last week, neither Benny or Ugo predicted any scores bang on. But Ugo correctly predicted that Arsenal would beat Man United and Leeds would beat Everton. So Bentley just got one prediction correct with Arsenal beating Man United. So the score's currently at DB 1, TNT Sports 2. We've got about a minute and a half here. You've got 30 seconds to give us your prediction. In fact, forget that. Let's get both of your predictions on West Ham against Chelsea. It's live on talkSPORT tonight at 8 p.m. DB, what are you going for?
2-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
Well done. I mean, you don't have to rush through it like that. Sorry, what did you say, Darren?
2-1 to Chelsea.
So you're going 2-1. The away team's going to win that by 2-1. Housewives' favourite?
3-1 Chelsea.
You're going 3-1 Chelsea. Okay, still single at the moment?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Ready to mingle? Swipe right, ladies. Or left, I'm not quite sure which way it is. Man City against Spurs. That one is live on TNT Sports 1 and talkSPORT. That's tomorrow, the lunchtime kickoff, 12:30. Let's go back to Ugo for this one.
2-1 City.
You're going 2-1 City? No, we talked about this.
City.
Did we say 3-1 or you said 3-1?
I said 3-1 City.
Okay. You're not happy with that, Ugo?
No, it's good.
Okay. The last one is live on talkSPORT. That's Monday night, 8 p.m. A huge game of football for so many reasons. Newcastle v Liverpool. Bentley will stay with you for this one.
I've said 2-2.
I've got it written down here. I've got 2-2. I think this is going to be
Desmond
nuts.
Douglas, both of you.
Desmond Douglas, yeah.
Okay. So there you go. We'll find out how you both get on in next week's show. Now, Ugo, you're not in the studio with us next week.
No, I'm not.
But let me just say, for the powers that be that are listening, if for whatever reason whoever we book lets us down, you are my number one choice. You are an absolute joy to work
Your
with.
first reserve. Thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever
Super
said
sub.
to me. Yeah, I'll take it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure, as always. Benny, you have a great weekend. I'll see you.
Working Sunday.
I don't care. 4 p.m. I'll see you on Monday. Hugh Wilson-Croft takes over from us. Live commentary of West Ham against Chelsea is up next. A reminder that TNT Sports have live coverage of tomorrow's lunchtime kickoff between Manchester City and Spurs. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.